Hello and welcome, Halo fans! We are here, we are live with another exciting edition of the HSEL Nationals. We're here in 2024 and this is for Halo. I'm FBI Tugboat. Along with me is the man, the myth, the legend. That's Eli the Ninja. Eli, how the heck are you?
I'm doing great, man. I was so excited to be asked to do this with you here today. I mean, back in my day, gonna show my age here a little bit. We didn't have a high school esports league. We had to do it all on our own. So this is so cool to see just how far that gaming has come, and can't wait to see what these players have in store for us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Big shout out to the programs of these educational facilities and educational schools and whatnot that are presenting this and setting this up and ultimately setting their players up for success. We are here. We are live. We're going to get into it and kind of break down exactly what teams, if you've been watching HSEL Nationals of the past or the semester finals of the past, a lot of these names will be familiar. But first and foremost, I want to talk to some of our educators. In fact, attention educators, you guys can elevate your teaching toolkit with gaming concepts. These are fundamentals. Now, you need to foster a healthy gaming practices. You can impart basic knowledge and know-how and then cultivate this hands-on troubleshooting experience skills while equipping your students with a tech-focused perspective on college and on career readiness. You can empower your students for success in the digital age and check out gamingconcepts.gg for more information. HSEL has been at the forefront of educating students on not just like production side, not just shoutcasting side. We're going to talk a whole lot about it this weekend, Eli.
Absolutely. It's going to be so much fun. I just want to go ahead and tell everybody about our first two teams. So we got the number 2 seed going up against the number 3 seed. That's going to be Putnam City versus the Epic Comets. And if I'm not mistaken, there was so many different high schools that competed in the tournament to get to this point today. We're down to 7 teams now. And I cannot wait to see how these guys play well together. It sounds like they've been playing together for quite a while, and I hope they've developed some good teamwork to get here.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about Epic Charters here in first. This is out of Oklahoma. We got a trio of schools out of Oklahoma. A lot of Oklahomians. Eli, you got anything here? Okay, there you go.
Yeah, you're close enough.
There you go. Yeah. So the Oklahoma. This is specifically out of Oklahoma City as well. These are the Comets, of course. And they'll be looking at 2 full years here within the HSEL, of course, the 3 seed. And folks, this is a squad that is used to the finals. They beat Bosco Tech, which is another absolute juggernaut of HSEL Halo in the semifinals last semester, 3-2. And guys, if you're unfamiliar, this is maybe a song you'll hear sung many times over, but they did lose to QI Roberts in the finals 4-2 last semester. Hit me with Putnam City here, Eli.
So Putnam City, we've got looks like Oak Assassin, Zane Jamin, Dally EXE, and One Eye Willie and Super Smiley. So these guys have been teaming together for quite a while. It looks like last season and over the course of this season, they're undefeated in spring 24 regular season with a 95% game win rate. Intense rivalry with QI Roberts, though. They faced each other in the fall 22, spring 23, HSEL, National 2023 finals, and again this spring in 2024. Putnam City won a fall 22 and spring 23, but QI Roberts won Nationals 23 and spring 24 matchup. So this team definitely trying to prove that they are, without a doubt, the number 2 team in the nation. But QI Roberts, I guess they want to prove that they're the number 1 team in the nation, but at least for this matchup, they want to prove that they belong in the finals.
Yes, these are double elimination as well, folks. So Putnam City Epic Comets, fan of either of these teams, 2 and 3 seed, of course. Neither will be eliminated from this competition. Eli, is just going to be a little bit harder for them to get up and get that number 1 spot.
Right, exactly. No, just making it to the winners finals of a tournament guarantees you're going to finish top 3. So still a lot on the line here. I think that one team going to the lower bracket's definitely going to have a tough run in that lower bracket, like you said.
Yes. Only 7 squads, though, so hey, some of them's got to do it. Undying honor and glory once again at stakes here. And while we were waiting to get on in, let's go ahead and talk. We'll just go, the classic, right? alphabetical order from Alta High all the way down to QI Roberts. It's fair to say we'll save the best for last on this one. I'll talk about Alta High if you would brief the people on Bosco Tech. Alta High out of Sandy, Utah. These are the Hawks coming on in here. That mascot, silver and chrome, red and black. You'll see them here soon. They have been just under 3 years, 3 full years within the high school esports league, and a very old and storied league within itself. Of course, they are 6th seed out of 7 coming on into this one. Now, they did pretty well over the spring 24 semester. Those 5-1, Eli, they did lose to Bosco Tech 3-0 in the spring 24 quarterfinals.
And speaking of Bosco Tech, they're out of Rosemead, California. The Tigers, black and gold and yellow. Love the color scheme there. They've been in the HSEL for 2 years, coming in as the 4th seed, and they were most recently eliminated in the spring 24 semifinals by QI Roberts. They have a 5-1 record in spring 24, and that tells me, if they only lost to QI Roberts, they might be even better than that 4th seed they've been given.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bosco Tech, Epic Charter. One of our, wait, we already talked about Epic Charter. Excuse me. Heritage, guys, you're going to be seeing Epic Charter, and you're going to see Putnam City playing in a little bit. But we want to kind of give you guys like an initial look at all of these teams before we get down in the muck of like some crazy, awesome, chaotic Halo games. Okay. Heritage Hall, another one of our Oklahoma squads here, another Oklahoma City, in fact. These are the Chargers. They've been, again, 3 years in the HSEL, and of our 7 seeds, this is our last. This is the squad right here, lad, that has the most to prove, in my opinion, especially with a 5-1 spring 24 record. Also lost, again, a song. You might hear sung several times today and this weekend. Lost to QI Roberts. That was in the spring 24 quarterfinals, and they did unfortunately lose 3-0. They were not able to take a single map off of QI Roberts, Eli.
You said they got the most to prove, but I'd say they've got the least to lose, all right? So maybe a different frame of mind for how to approach the tournament today, have some fun with it, go out there, play your best. But we've got Holy Name as well coming from Parma Heights, Ohio. They're the Green Wave, green and white colors. They've been in for 5.5 years, longer than just about any other team on our list here today. Also coming in as the 5th seed, they qualified for last year's HSEL finals, finishing top 6, 5-1 in the spring 24 season, and were eliminated by Putnam City.
Yes. Again, Putnam City, fantastic squad. We talked about them a little bit. Now it is time for the squad that has taken it down 5 semesters in a row. How about that one? QI Roberts, our Floridians. I know that one here, Eli. Our Floridians, yes, at a Florida, Florida. This is the QI Roberts Knights, of course. Anybody who's watched previous HSEL Nationals and whatnot. We're looking at 2.5 years within the HSEL, and they've been dominant throughout. Number 1 seed coming into this, they have won 5 of these HSEL national titles in a row. For Halo, of course, obviously they participate within other esports as well, Eli.
Absolutely, and it sounds like we are ready to get into the action here after we've been able to highlight all the teams. And so let's have a look at the first map of the day.
Absolutely. We're starting, of course, on Capture the Flag. Guys, we're going to be doing our classic pick bands and whatnot. Oh, never mind. Round 1 is not Capture the Flag. We're looking at Strongholds Live Fire. Oh, my goodness. Strongholds Live Fire, 250 points to win. Man, I can't really say it's been a long day if we just started, right, Eli? My goodness.
It's been a long day for me. I casted 6 in the morning at a different tournament, but this is... yeah, they're playing over in London. A bit of a time zone difference there, but yeah, Live Fire Strongholds. This is one of my personal favorite game types. If you guys are unfamiliar with how this works, essentially there's 3 different capture points around the map. You've got to capture 2 of them at once, and you start scoring points per second. If you can somehow manage to score, if you can capture all 3 at the same time, then you capture double points, 2 points per second. So both teams are going to be fighting on 3 different parts of the map throughout the entire match, trying to flip and control different zones. It's very fast-paced and very exciting. All right, I'm not sure if we still have Mr. Tugboat.
Yo, sorry about that.
Okay,
Not
he's back.
Sure what happened there, folks. Eli, is it fair to assess Strongholds as a game mode as kind of like a multi-King of the Hill?
Yeah, exactly. Just think of there's 3 hills that you've got to be present in. The only difference with King of the Hill is you've got to actually stay in the hill the whole time to accumulate points, whereas in this, it takes about 5 seconds to capture the zone, and then you can freely move around the map afterwards. It takes the other team to go back and stand in it for 5 seconds for them to capture it back from you.
A very, very important difference, folks, especially anybody joining us from maybe more faster paced, maybe esports like Call of Duty. Yes, you have to, don't have to sit in there the entire time. You do have to dedicate a significant amount of time initially to getting this one in. And let's get this one going, right? We are taking a look. Putnam City on your left, Epic Comets on your right. Let's get this one going. Little midway push, and maybe bit off a lot more than he could chew. Takes one, but also gets traded out afterwards. We got perfect kills flowing in already, Eli.
Yeah, it looks like both teams really favoring pressuring that sniper. Sniper spawns top center. It's one of the strongest guns in the game, so that's why we saw such a collision there top center. Now there's a power-up spawning over here. The active camouflage is going to make one of these players invisible if they can win it. So both teams going to fight for it. Some great grenades going out here. Going to take down one opponent. Trying to get out. This is Blitzel on your screen. And looks like he's going to decide to stay alive instead of contest the camo. I like that decision there.
Yeah, just kind of the opposite of playing your life and getting the best that you can get done, right? A little C-flip coming on here. This is going back and forth like tides twice a day.
Exactly right. And BC, I think the best combination of strongholds. It looks like that's what Putnam is going for here. But Blitzel spawning over on the C side. He's going to go ahead and cap that. Looks like coming off spawn here, they're going to try to push towards B together. And this is the type of teamwork I like to see. You know, coming into this, I didn't know what type of teamwork we would see. I don't expect a professional level, but working together very well considering all odds.
Yes, and I think, well, this is something as Pun talked about in the past, of course, but the coaching here is just so crucial. These young folks to come forth and really come employ their difference. There's Daly finally finding one. Light skin dropped. Now a little bit of flak in the back. There's a melee, and not sure if there's a teammate there to try and pick this one up, but is it fair to say the B will always be hotly contested, Eli?
You're exactly right. B, the most important stronghold on the map, I would say. It's the fulcrum between the 2 points. From B, you can quickly go to either C or A, so most teams do favor control of B so that they can have either the AB or the BC hold.
And do we have an Eli favorite? You've done plenty of coaching in your time, correct?
Yeah, of course. I do coaching full-time as a profession, and I tell most of my students, you know, let's hold BC. It's you get high ground over there on the C side. You've got tower side. You can force the other team to spawn in A, which is a little bit harder to get out of. And if you know how to set it up properly, BC, very effective.
Yeah, that garage area can be super hard. One Eye Willie. Oh, in memoriam. No, I shouldn't say memoriam. That sounded like he died. And because Sam isn't here, right? I want to say we will start off our favorite names in the lobby another time. We did not get a preview of that a little bit, but that was always something I really enjoyed. One Eye Willie, always a finalist in our favorite names as far as broadcasters. Moving down bottom here and trying to work their way. Blitzel though does go down to no shield. Is able to find the K afterwards though. A little bit of a nade play there. Now it's going to be Light Skin. Actually, seemed like they kind of spawned up right there, and Daly just sits on steps and puts them down.
I actually like that play from Daly, just kind of protecting the C side. It knows that the Epic Comics are likely to go around out of their way to the stronghold, but just sitting in a spot where he can't be seen, waits till somebody gets in the stronghold and takes him down. Great stuff out of Daly.
Fantastic stuff. Those little reticle symbols next to these firearms are indicative of everybody hitting headshots left, right, and center like they're finding lint in their pocket. Here's the sniper that we were looking for. Oak Assassin finds one, finds two. One with the heady with the sniper. Reasonable to believe he got a body shot in the second. Brought down no shields. Got the elimination there afterwards.
So far, it is Epic Comets in the lead, 95-30. It looks like XD, top center, trying to hold on, but he gets taken down now. B is going to be flipped once again, and Comets might be able to score again. And right now, it just feels like Putnam City have been unable to get control of much of the map so far.
Yeah, a little bit of back and forth, but this is frequently where these matches start to really break away. 1 per second here for the Epic Comets, just 1 or 2 per second, isn't it? It's flying by.
Well, 1 per second if they just have the 2 strongholds, 3 if they can capture A as well. I like to see this aggression though out of the Epic Comets. They're really forcing Putnam City to make a decision. Do they want to protect the 1 stronghold that they have, or do they want to backtrack and try to cap a different zone? And when you've got 3, you can really make it difficult for the other team.
Yeah. I feel like there's almost a philosophical difference here, right? Some people just prefer to hold the 2 and just consistently force out spawns of the other squad, right? And then there's some like, hey, they want to go for a goal. They want to go for a broke. That was an overkill?
Ooh, I don't know who got
done.
it. Wow, that's impressive stuff. An overkill, if you guys don't know, that means they killed all 4 members of the other team, 4 eliminations within the span of 4 seconds of each other. Very impressive stuff. And that's going to open a lot of map space, right? It's going to make it a lot easier for them to capture whatever zones they want. And that's the reason why Putnam City have been unable to capture anything until just now.
Yeah, not a big deal, but here, might be the beginning of the comeback here for your Putnam City squad. A little bit of call out there from Oak Assassin. Shot out, tries to mail some shots. Epic Comet kind of trying to mount their team together, but it kind of looks like a 2-team split. Kind of 2 members going over towards bridge area, and then just 1 finally making his way towards garage. Now top, looking all the way around. That sniper's coming back in just a couple of seconds. This will only be a positive effect wherever it gets it. Say hello, and Blitzel takes down One Eye Willie. Maybe use 2 eyes next time you're trying to line up those shots.
Blitzy with the little dance moves, the strafe, very difficult to hit. It's not only important to know how to aim, but also how to move your Spartan in a way that makes it hard for your opponent to hit their shots. And Blitzy does a great job of that. Also gets the no-scope. Huge headshot coming out of him, and that's going to open up even more space for his squad. Right now, Epic Comets are dominating.
Yeah, so what, 150 or so differential right now between our 2 and 3 seeds. Perhaps just indicative of just how, like, really top-heavy some of these leagues have been in the past here. But it is, again, only game 1 of the day, match 1 of the day, and a longer one is double elimination. Maybe utilize something. This is going to be a great job of, the opposite of a bait and switch, right? You starting damage and your teammate finishing it off. Fantastic elimination.
Wow.
Blitzel going to feel like they may have had that one in the bag.
Understandably, I mean, that's a massive elimination to pick up, as if he was to go down in that situation, that could have been the run for Epic Comics to finish the game. But no, he's going to pause the scoring for Epic Comics. They're going to start scoring some points of their own. That could make a massive difference here going into the end game.
One Eye Willie, frequently been a Putnam City just absolute hitter. Really started this game off here. The whole lot of offensive pressure and offensive success. As it is, this is going to be really, really hard to come back. A Herculean attempt going to be required here from Putnam City to go forth and take this one at this point. And we're basically looking at a triple up situation just for this Putnam City squad to come back, correct?
You're exactly right. I mean, at this point, Putnam City, it's still possible for them to come back, but they've got to get control and hold on to it for essentially the rest of the game. It's only going to be another 14 seconds of control for Epic Comets, but C does get flipped, which means the scoring has been paused for Epic Comets. If Putnam City can hold on to this for the rest of the game, they could feasibly win this one.
Yeah, this is just such a difficult situation to have, especially when you have this B here. This is the preferential, the Eli approved hold, though, right? Let them spawn in Bay. There you go.
Exactly. It's very difficult because they only have a few escape options to get out of A. They've got to go through that big door, as most people call it. Got to wrap around the other side. But just as I say that, Epic Comets are somehow able to get into C. They do stop the aggression on that side, but now they've got to come back and then protect B. So it does look like this is working out pretty well. I like the way Putnam City have played this.
So, regardless, though, that's an easy take back here, it seems. A little bit of pressure on the B, but the thing is, Eli, just numerically, right, they can't afford to, give over a B and then give up, 2 at a time just to take, 30 points. If you keep on this ratio, they are going to lose this one out. For now, though, a new lease on life.
Right, I do kind of sense they're not playing aggressive enough, maybe playing a little bit too defensive. Sometimes you've got to bring the fight to the opposition so they can't get to your stronghold in the first place, but they do get 3 dead. And now they're able to potentially flip B. Yes, first spawner's going to come off and take position on this nest side here. Actually, no, this is a member of Putnam City, so they are setting up. I like the spread here. They are spread out between both B and C, able to protect both. Now they have the sniper to shut down the top center push, and that's a big pickup from Dally.
Oh, if that shot had landed, that might have decided this game in a different sense, but C is now taking beaten feet, and A gets touched at the last possible second. Now C and A going the way. B, a little bit of pressure right now, and there's a nice job. Shots and then the melee to get the elim afterwards. A lot of flack from behind right here as this member just beating feet and trying to get onto C. A little bit of pressure, that's AC, and that's round one between Putnam sitting the Epic Comet squad. Epic Comets wins this one at a margin of about 110, if I remember right.
Yeah, 110 points.
22, excuse me.
Yeah, well, it's basically doubled up, right? So,
Yep.
I mean, the thing about Strongholds, though, is it looks like it was a huge victory for Epic Comets, but it's just a matter of map control. So, and Strongholds does play very different from just about every other game type in the game, in my opinion. So, would not be surprised if Putnam could put up a better fight going into the Slayer game, too.
Yeah, and especially given the way that Slayer, I just feel is like a much more boiled down version, right? It's just like everybody go out, play your life, do as best as you can. Let's take a look a little bit at these stats. There you go, 22 and 3 for Lightskin's IQ. Do mine eyes deceive me?
22 kills and 3 assists, but he did.
Oh my goodness, they do deceive me.
You're reading it like an old school Halo player. They used to have it in that order. Yeah, so I can tell you've played some of the older Halos. But taking a look at the damage charts, I think this stat right here is a telltale sign of just how impactful the players were on the map. And while Lightskin's IQ had the best KD ratio, it was actually Blitzel with the highest damage dealt on his squad. We also see high damage dealt for both Oak Assassin and One Eye Willie on the other side, more so than any player on Epic Comet. So that tells me that if you've got that much damage in the tank, maybe it was just more of the macro, the strategy that was the problem in Strongholds. They didn't really, get much out of each of the eliminations they got. They were more so just getting eliminations without converting it to objective time.
So could this be boiled down, Eli, to a classic like quantity quality type of conversation, right? Like you may have gotten a lot of damage, you may have gotten a lot of eliminations, right? But at the end of the day, it's the ones that matter and that allow you to go forth and actually put points on the board in the Strongholds game mode that really, really count. Is that what you're saying?
You're exactly right. I mean, eliminations only matter if you can convert those eliminations into objective. The eliminations themselves don't give you any points, but holding the strongholds does. So, and granted, you've got to get the eliminations to secure the map and be safe enough to convert the points, but it feels like, maybe with a bit more objective efficiency, we could have seen a closer game there.
Hey. Fantastic news now. We have the next map coming up. It is Slayer. So this is just, hey, if you got damage in the previous one, everything we just said about like, oh, this, that, and third about objective, well, your objective right here is just go out and get as many slays as possible.
That's exactly right. There's no objective to worry about. Just go for those eliminations. This is a quite different map from Livefire as well. I think it's visually quite nice. This is one of my favorite maps. But we've also got some different weapons to use. We've got the shock rifle, which is a very exciting electric gun that can kill or get an elimination instantly. And there's also another camouflage on this map as well. So those are the two most important items to look out for. We want to definitely get the camo and the shock rifle and ideally pair them together if possible.
Yeah, that is a deadly, deadly combination right there, Eli. A fantastic statement. Now, we were talking a little bit about these strongholds that you prefer, and you have coached some of your teams to hold over there with Livefire. Is this a kind of Slayer setup that you like here where teams can rack up the most points, or is this more of like a rolling, dangerous ball of Halo team?
It can be played either way, really. I do favor kind of a buddy system, actually. So just pairs of two that kind of rotate around the perimeters of the map can be quite effective. Just running through different zones and clearing space. You can kind of set up pinches from across the map from each other because this is heavily oriented around the perimeter. You don't want to spend too much time in the center of the map because it's heavily all the sightlines are very open, so you might go down very quickly if you find yourself in the middle of the map. So yeah, you want to maybe roll as pairs of two around the outskirts, and that's a good recipe for success on this map.
Yeah, so again, to take the big dramatic rolling ball of Halo danger that I was talking about, just divide it in two, and now you got two of those rolling around the map. Absolutely love it. One Eye Willie almost winning this one, but of course we have a Epic Charters player right here that is getting that assistance from the teammate. More shots. One Eye Willie is an absolute shooter. They have come forth and kind of developed Well, not just a name for themselves as a finalist for the best name in lobby, but also, of course, as it's just this constant like annoyance in the back, the thorn in the side of any team that One-Eyed Willie does play against. Also, big fat shout out to the Goonies. What an awesome movie.
Yes, and One-Eyed Willie's definitely been a damage dealer. I think he actually did the most damage in the last game, despite being on the losing team. And here we go. My favorite in the lobby, I don't know why, Oak Assassin. It's just like, is he assassinating trees, or is he an assassin made out of oak? I'm not really sure.
That's a good point.
This could be
Getting
either
philosophical
one.
out here.
Right, but so far, this is a major bounce back for Putnam City. They got an early 5-kill lead.
So they do. So they do. Again, the increments, unless I'm wrong here, that we're really looking for, especially towards the end of the game, is an increment of 4, right? Because you cannot get more than 4 points off of eliminations at any given time, even if you do go forth and get that quad, right? As it is, as the most, and then utilizing that visibility, or the active camo, I suppose I should say, not full-on invisible, right?
Right, exactly. So when you have the active camo, you will be revealed if you shoot or throw a grenade or sprint. So you kind of have to walk around a little bit more slowly than you normally do, but you have that element of surprise. You can also just use it to walk around and gather intel for your team. You know, these guys have different names for all the different parts of the map. They're feeding each other information so they can work well together. And right now, it looks like Putnam City maybe taking my advice a little bit. I've noticed them using a little bit of the buddy system throughout this game. They've been kind of baiting Epic Comets to push into these areas.
So what you're saying is we're going to have a couple invoices here for Putnam City and Epic Charters. The coaching, the live coaching, 8 different players here from Eli. I love it. I love it. No, but seriously, this is a fantastic idea, and the way that this team has been utilizing it so far, I cannot say enough. Light Skin from the top rope right here finds some with the help of their teammates. As you said, like just that rolling 2 team, just basically just like an ongoing 2v2s.
Exactly, and it doesn't feel like they're really favoring holding one side of the map or the other. Like I said, you can play that hold strategy. If you're going to do that, I think this area here in gold combined with some presence in the A side, definitely quite valuable. But this is even better. Look at this, just rolling through as a wolf pack through the long haul. And I like that Bobcat has rotated to look at glass. It's not very good to have all of your units in the same area. You want to have some space so you can get those extra angles that complement each other.
Nice shots, then the nade afterwards. The call comes here into pit, now trying to help him out. Oak Assassin gets like a frame or 2 of coverage from that bubble shield. And now stepping up, doesn't want anything of it, even though what you clamber up right here, you see nothing but opponents with no shields. And this is a game right now, 18-14. This is far cry away from our like 9-3, I think, start.
Right, yeah, that was heavily in favor of Epic Comets off the start. I think we had a name switch with the colors here. But yeah, it's Epic Comets that are the red squad, Putnam City in blue. Right now, Epic Comets in the lead after winning that first game, and it's every 2 minutes on the clock. So every even minute, that's when that camo spawns. So in the next 10 seconds here, another camo will spawn. And right now, I favor the positioning of the team in this tower. So Putnam City looking better to get this camo, but Epic Comics are set up to not make it easy.
No, they are not. No, they are not. Now, I do like what Epic is doing right now, right? They have sectioned out over here. They're not trickling, and they're not just trying to find one elimination at a time. And now they're pressing right here and trying to get back to Turbine. That's enough for Epic to pick up 2 right here and increase to a 5. Call it 6. Shots ringing in from the side. Didn't see it coming, but they saw you, my friend.
That was the shock rifle, Oak Assassin putting it to work with a nice headshot across the map. And looks like he's got a bodyguard too. I like this setup from Epic Comets. They're basically protecting the guy with the shock rifle, making sure he can do work. They've got now Camo pushing in with a buddy into the tower. Go. This player doesn't know where he's coming from, and this is a great looking push out of Epic Comets. They can continue to apply pressure here.
There you go, a nice job right there, getting a couple last shots for the point against Light Skin. This is Willie that we're on board with as of right now, and I know it's been a conversation in the past. That active camo does not affect how loud you are walking. Is that correct?
Right. Yes. So you actually have no footstep audio when you are camouflaged. Whereas if you're not camouflaged, people can hear that loud, Spartan suit walking around. This makes a pretty loud footstep sound if you're close to somebody, but with camo, you're absolutely silent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And cannon-wise, these Mjolnirs, I never knew how to say it out loud.
Mjolnir,
the suits weigh like multiple tons, right? Like,
yes, in the lore, I think they're like 8 feet tall and weigh multiple tons. So
like
yeah, these are
2.5 tons or something like that.
super
like, it's
soldiers.
Wild to,
yeah.
Yeah. It's wild to think about. If anything, the most unrealistic thing about Halo multiplayer is that these footsteps do not sound like buildings just like falling down one at a time. But as it is, wonkiness done. 29s to 20 as of right now. Lightskin dropping down. Maybe a tiny bit of bait and switch right there. That would have been real courageous. He sees the one player down. Both of these are one shot.
Ooh.
Teammate coming in. Nicely done. Might be a two-piece there for Oak Assassin, but it was set up by Lightskin.
It was actually so impressive the way those two work together. Lightskin just dealing damage and prioritizing staying alive. He's doing it again. He's just dealing damage. He's just got 4 assists in a row, just pulling the attention away from his teammates and then hiding behind a wall and says, okay, you guys got this. You can go ahead and push. And what a great play that was from Epic Comets.
Seriously was, especially to have improved now to an 11-point deficit. Putnam City staring at, halfway there here soon. 25 kills, 25 limbs points, whatever, out of 50 as of right now. A little bit of back and forth, and this is Epic that can continue to deploy this space like a cat that is constantly kneading, that's like pushing up and down on the pillows. There we go. We got names, we got stats, we got everything for you folks. Shout out to the goated production staff here, the HSEL and Jenny. And Esports U, excuse me.
Absolutely. Definitely helps me out. Now we know we've been on board with One Eye Willie. We've stayed on board with him for quite a while. 6 eliminations, 6 assists, and only 5 deaths. That's a good stat line. It looks like he's not been involved, but we can see clearly that he has been. Just been in the mix, gathering information, giving out that information. It's been primarily Moonwalker finishing off the kills. He's got 11 assists, or 11 eliminations so far.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I mean, assists are, especially in Slayer, I feel like just as important as these points, as these full-on eliminations, right?
Exactly. Yeah. If your team has less assists, you're probably not going to win the game. The name of the game is shooting together, having that teamwork, having that coordination. If you're not working together, you're probably not going to win the game.
Absolutely. I think at face value, a lot of Slayers just like, oh, everybody just go forth, and whoever is the best shooter is going to go forth, put up the most points, and their team's going to win. But it really just is not that simple, and especially when you get to the higher levels of this HSEL league, or HSE league, High School Esports League, right? Then you're talking about players that have played together for entire semesters or more, and then done some things like, QI Robert Taz was winning 5 times in a row.
Right. I mean, it just goes to show that the teamwork, that coordination goes a long way. I haven't seen QI Roberts play yet, but I'm excited to see them play. I'm assuming they work very well together to have such an amazing record.
Hey, they better on this weekend. I actually think I'm going to switch horses here, Eli. I think you're right. I think they definitely have the most to prove, whereas the 7th seed, the squad that we were talking about, really is like, this is almost like a free roll. They can go forth and play as best they can. There's no reason to do anything but play as best you can. With the 7th seed coming in here, they will, of course, have a lot to prove, but 5 in a row, trying to make it 6. Say there's a deficit there. Key 5-point differential between the Epic Comics squad and Putnam City as they're looking to chain 1 map win into 2 here, Eli.
They've really, Putnam City's really done a good job to bring themselves back into this. It really looked like it was going to be Epic Comets running away with it, but now just a 5-kill difference. If they can get a hold of the shock rifle, which is on the stand right now, they could continue to come back. Bobcat does get away with it. So if he can maybe get some extra points on the board with this could be exactly what they needed. Also, keep in mind that clock is dwindling down, just 2.5 minutes, and time could become a factor as well.
That is a very, very important point here, Eli. Other game modes frequently have various ways, various facets in which the clock will stop. Obviously, we saw that in Strongholds earlier. This is Slayer, and unless I'm wrong, and this has been a game change in the past like 12 days, there is nothing that stops this clock within Slayer.
You're exactly right. Only if the teams were tied as the clock hit 0 would it activate over time, which just adds another 3 minutes to the clock. But rarely do we see something like that happen. We did see it at the HCS World Championship last year, which is really exciting, but don't expect to see it here. Right now, the clock heavily in the favor of Epic Comets. They really don't even have to be aggressive. They can just sit back and kind of wait for Putnam City to make a move and win this game by virtue of the clock.
There you go. Two combining down bottom. Now, did we get that active camo off for this Epic Comets member? I'm not 100% sure, but a deficit of 5 turns into a deficit of 6. Anything, again, floating around here, anything flirting with 4 is still going to be enough for Epic Comets to have a comfortable lead coming in to the last part of this game, and that just got so much worse.
Yes, now that Epic only need 2 more kills to close the game out, it's going to be nearly impossible. I mean, if you're Putnam City, you really got to get so many slays without trading out, and trades are very common in this game. Looks like we might just see the end of the game right here.
Yeah, so that's going to be it right there. If we're taking a look at some of the numbers, well, it's fair to say that the Epic Comet squad, not just assists right there, but came forth, and everybody was positive, right? I mean, just numerically, if your entire team is positive, you're going to win the game. 50-39 is going to be a much more even-handed game than our strongholds at 250-122, with Putnam City essentially putting up half as many points, Eli, as the Epic Comet squad.
Yeah, it's kind of what we predicted, right? We saw how much damage that Epic could do, that Putnam could do, so we figured they'd have a better chance in the Slayer. They do still fall short. It does just feel like the teamwork, maybe a bit more strategy on the side of Epic Comets. That's been a real difference maker here, but Putnam City, it is a best of 5. They're still not out of it.
Absolutely. They will have one more opportunity, and this third map will not be a Slayer. It will be decided both map and mode by these HSEL teams, because that's how we do it, because we like it like that. Taking a look, damage dealt, damage taken. You got to talk about Blitz a little bit there, 58-52 essentially right there. Then One Eye Willie, 52. We'll call it 4,700, of course. Crazy numbers being put up across multiple of these players, but I really think, the slaying capabilities by the Epic Charters squad, by the Comets, of course, was really put on display in game number 1, and then it was tested, Eli, in game number 2 in this Slayer. Also, we're getting confirmed right here. I thought HSEL may not have liked kills. It's literally a part of the game. It literally says it on your screen, so we're not going to treat you guys like children. The name is kills, the name is deaths, okay? We'll use eliminations and points as much as we want, but there is no restriction from what I'm seeing here on the verbiage there.
Okay. Yeah, Halo's been played for a long time. It's always been a kill. It is what it is. But what I'm noticing, though, is the damage taken on the side of the winning team was actually almost even with the losing team, which tells me that they're able to stay alive. They're taking damage, but then they're taking cover and getting their shields back, and then they're able to get back in the mix. So I think that could be something to look out for in the future for the Epic Comets.
Yeah, and especially given that we're going into another objective game mode here, it's just going to be so important for players to be able to get out with their lives. Come forth, either take a teammate's trade, they go down, they die, you go forth and try and kill the person whose shields are low, take that, and now you've come out on top of the engagement, right? You dropped one, you've lost one, you've dropped one, but now you're still alive and you're covering that area, and especially in these objective game modes, and especially if this is correct with a right charge oddball, that's what I'm staring at right now. We're getting confirm of it. Positioning is just so important.
Exactly right. Just staying alive is a means of applying pressure to the other team, because they have to deal with you before they can do anything in that part of the map. So playing your life, I tell people all the time, is the most important part of this game. As we head into Recharge Oddball, so we're coming back to the same map, very different game mode here. So yes. Oddball, this is one where you've got to hold on to the ball as long as you can. While you're holding it, you cannot shoot your weapon, you cannot throw grenades, so you're just accumulating that objective time. That means that you've got one less gun in the fight. So I think that the teams that have good setups around their ball carrier and can fend off, in a 3v4 situation, they're usually the team that's going to come out on top.
Absolutely. And of course, Halo Infinite, a little bit different with how it does the ball game mode, of course, right? There are now rounds involved, Eli. There is certainly some parents out there who may not have been watching Halo for the first time, so do me a favor, if you would explain exactly how that works with rounds for some of the people who may not have watched Halo before.
Yeah, so this game type will be played to a maximum of 3 rounds. In each round, a team is trying to get 100 points. 1 point is 1 second of holding the ball. If one team wins the first round and the other team wins the second round, it'll go to a tiebreaker. So it is essentially a best 2 out of 3 within one game. There's going to be maybe just 2 rounds if one team wins both, but it could go to 3 rounds if there's a tie.
Absolutely. Absolutely appreciate that. Now, give me a little bit of insight on this. As the big coaching, the big brain here for Halo, why exactly is it that Halo Infinite changed this for the ball game mode?
I think it's mostly about the spectator experience, to be honest, because before, we played to 250 points and it was just one continuous round, but there was still the timer on the screen as well that would count down. It would never pause. So for that reason, sometimes it gets to a certain points where you're further behind than there are seconds left in the game, so you just already know you lost, and it's just kind of like we're just wasting time until the game ends. But here, the clock actually pauses while you're holding the ball, so it makes it more exciting from the spectator experience. You can tell exactly if a team is still in it or not, as long as that timer is still going. A team can grab the ball with just 1 second left, and they could feasibly hold on to it until they hit that 100-second threshold. So it leads to some very exciting in-game scenarios.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And a little bit more seems like competitive nature, a little bit more fair right there as well, especially with the resets, and then you're talking about power weapons, power-ups. Fantastic control up here right now. Fantastic control. You got 3 players in the Epic Comics squad. We're going forth. No, excuse me. Oh, yeah, Epic Comics.
No, Putnam City here has the ball, but I'm a little bit confused by the strategy of Epic Comets. It's almost like they were asleep at the wheel. Nobody really moving very far off their spawn point. And this is a great rotation here. Once Epic Comets do show up and push into A, it looks like Putnam City able to just run away with the oddball. This is a great rotation. So at the highest level in this game, the oddball rotations are always so important. You want to take the ball away from your opponents. If you notice that your team is losing the fight, try to just throw the ball into an uncomfortable place for them to grab it. And I've seen great play, also a great sticky. It's 2 kills with 1 grenade. Very impressive.
Yeah, and so this is actually kind of a situation where he may have wanted to set the... he threw that plasma trying to actually get on the ground, right? The stick actually came forth and ended in his own demise. But now a 40-something point run interrupted now. Putnam City coming out on top.
Yeah, this is looking good. All of a sudden, Epic Comets, they do have a hold, but Putnam City are pushing in. And generally speaking, when you have the oddball, you want to hold it somewhere safe, like top of this tower side of A. And wow, look at that. The bodyguard just goes in, says, "You will not kill my ball holder. You shall not pass." A little bit of Gandalf from Lord of the Rings showing here. And it's a lot of time racking up for them.
Get down, Mr. President!
Yeah, something like that.
Love it. First plasma actually hits... Oh, Resumid right here. Second one good, and teammates show up. We're on board with Moonwalker right now. They just got protected all the way through. All of the time right now for Putnam City is with Moonwalker, of course, and this is a fantastic setup and hold right here. Now, there might be a rotation over towards our kind of turbine area for a reason, right?
Yeah, so I think that when the pressure is coming in from the bottom of the whirlpool, yes, I love this play. It's such a good decision to throw the ball to the middle of the map. So he saw that the pressure was coming in and knew that it did not look very good. He sees his teammates dying around him, says, you know what, let me at least chuck this to the middle of the map, make it a little bit harder for them to get the setup. That's the thought process. Epic Comets not phased by it, though. They just walk out and grab it because there was nobody left to kill them. So good plan in theory, but in this case didn't really help all that much.
Yeah, great job here from Met Bobcat. You saw that rifle, of course, was up, but did not jump out for it. That just would have been really costing, just giving over that life right there when it's just so crucial right now. This was starting out Epic Comets' absolute run, as it is Putnam City answering pretty well right now. Very, very glad that this charge goes down over time. One of the greatest changes in Halo. We're going to talk about old school Halo. I'll get into story time later. Oak Assassin falling to a litany of grenades inside this yellow tunnel as of right now. Ball is neutralized out, but once again, this is kind of the gameplay of, again, putting ball into a precarious spot, but easily taken as of right now, as Blitzel starts to get some of their own ball handler points.
Yeah, this kind of goes to show you, I mean, the 2 previous games that Epic won, you know, it's very important to get those kills so that you can get control of the strongholds or, you know, just to get the points in Slayer. But in Oddball, if you're just good at rotating the ball away from the opposition constantly, you can win despite not having as many slays. So I think that that's kind of the strategy right now for Putnam City. They so far have the lead, but I don't think Epic Comets are going to make it, Epic Comets are going to make it easy for them to close it out.
Oh, absolutely not. Moonwalker right now. Strolling all the way through. Nobody sees. And actually kind of gives up the presence right there. But this is a full-on rotation as well. This might be Putnam City trying to hold on this outside area because ball gets tossed out. It does get reset, correct?
Yeah, so if the ball goes off the map, it will reset to the original spawn point, which is a common strategy, and it's a good reason to take the ball over here to this side of the map. It's the only part of the map you can throw it off and force that reset. And Moonwalker with some great shots there. He's going to try to just open some space for them to rotate it, but no, Oak Assassin said, let's just hold it over in the gold pipes area instead.
Absolutely. It is going down right there. Up top right now, little bit of damage. Oddball comes flying over Met Bobcat's head, but this is going to be Epic Comets holding on to this one. 87-88. We only need 2 points for Putnam. This is going to be such a feels bad if they're not able to get those two. This is such a close Oddball game after a little more of a one-sided strongholds earlier.
Wow.
Met Bobcat, 0 as of right now. That is exactly what the doctor ordered. Epic Comets put a strong foot forward in the ballgame mode.
So impressive. I mean, honestly, they were down for a majority of that round, but they close it out. Or sorry, they did have the lead, and Epic Comets come roaring back, almost steal it away from them, but Putnam City clutching up, have the ice in the end game. But like we said, this is a 3-round mode, so they won that round. They still got to win at least one of the next 2 rounds if they want to take the game.
Well, sir, and I got to say, this may be more impressive for Epic Comets having done that, given that XD is 9-7 with 80 points, 10-7, excuse me, the walking highlight reel right here. But Met Bobcat, fortunately, has not found a single slay. Yeah, not has found a single kill. 0-8 right now, and they still took that 198.
Right, I mean, like I said before, kills don't matter as much in Oddball. If you're just making smarter plays, rotating the ball around the map and keep playing keep away, so the opponent can't get any points, it doesn't even matter if you get a kill along the way, as long as your teammates are watching your back. And he's also got 4 assists, so you know, he's been a part of the fights, just hasn't quite finished the kill for himself just yet.
Not gonna stop right there, 0-10, but again, different objective game mode. It's more about the damage and the value you provide for your squad. No team has actually put on a single point quite yet. Full minute into this one. No one's actually touched it for any significant amount of time. Finally, Epic Comets looking to grab this one. Putnam City on the rotation.
For any parents confused why you keep hearing ball dropped, ball taken, ball dropped, it's when you hold the Oddball, your Spartan actually moves a little bit slower than it normally does. Actually, a lot slower, probably about half the speed. So what these players are doing is they're grabbing it and then throwing it in front of them so they can sprint and then grab it again and then throw it and, you know, rinse, repeat. You can move the Oddball to a different location a lot faster than if you were to just hold it the whole time. So that's being utilized, and it just makes a funny sequence for the announcer, just keeping you up to date with how many times it's been grabbed or dropped.
You know, man, that was Moonwalker right there. All he was trying to do is get out of this, and then find some plasma grenade to the face. Hate to see it. Hate to see it. Worst birthday. Worst birthday. We're taking a look. It's going down in the pit right now, back and forth. This is not a frequent place where these two teams usually go forth and do battle at, but a fantastic breakdown of exactly why what's going on is going on there, Eli. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. There's so much to Halo that's probably very confusing the first time you see it. I remember explaining this to my parents when they were watching me play. And they're like, what are you doing holding that skull thing?
Yeah.
You got to explain
witchcraft.
it, you know?
Is it witchcraft, Jordan? Is that what you're doing?
Something like that.
Oh, 2005 will always reign supreme. This is a
That's right.
15-2 scoreline right now is One-Eyed Willie. Going on a little bit of a streak themselves. This is an absolute Slayer in the beginning, but again, this is not a Slayer game mode. And One-Eyed Willie, rest of Putnam City, going to have to turn these kills into points if they still want a little bit of life at the end of the tunnel here for the first best-of-5 series. Trying to get up top, and this is a great job getting to the second level.
Yeah, I like the ball juggle from Met Bobcat. He's able to get it all the way to top A pretty handily. And this is I mean, I can tell by his movement. I mean, this guy is not a bad player, so he doesn't have a lot of slays. He's just very focused on the objective, and honestly, the objective is how you win games. He's also got 8 assists, 26 seconds of oddball time, but more importantly, he's been moving the ball away from the enemy the entire game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Any kind of first number there can be excused based on the last numbers, the last couple of numbers. And 8 assists is most on the team, of course. Ooh, tries to get the rifle up. Not going to happen right there. Just one shot necessary. Now a little bit of teammate coordination. A lot coming in right now. And now we're sitting on the outside. If the pressure gets to be too much, you will see XD throw this skull, take a long walk off a short pier.
Yeah, he's purposefully sitting in this spot because if opposition shows up, he can just chuck it off the map. There's really no pressure. He's just racking up objective time this entire time. And the worst case scenario is his teammates die. Guess what? He can just throw it off the map, and they can probably just pick it up off the respawn point. But there's a brawl that breaks down. He does get it off the map, but not before punching his opponent in the face with the oddball. And this is exactly what I talked about. Met Bobcat was ready for the rotation on the new oddball. This was well thought out in advance.
Yeah, so this gets tossed off, a couple lives may get sacrificed over there on the outside. That's okay because they're already set up and in position. Nicely done, Putnam City, with a pincer movement right there to take this. And now looking to be pretty well set up. Back and forth, XD is going to put One Eye Willie down right here. The slayer of this game so far. An embarrassing top yellow. Nicely done. Another one. XD stringing perfect kills together.
Nicely done across the board here. XD, most kills on the side of Putnam City right now. One Eye Willie with the most kills for Epic Comets. I mean, I know this is your favorite player to watch, but One Eye Willie, he's shown to be the strongest slayer in the game so far.
And at 100%. Now there is plenty of plenty of gear in Halo Infinite. In case you've watched Halo, in case you have experience with Halo's past, they're not present in other games. We'll break those down when there's a little bit less action because this game is going on right now. Tripling up right now, tripling up 3 times. That's the Epic Comet squad as there's a trade going on down right there. Moving on along with One Eye Willie. That's a fantastic start, but the invisible player on the outside just gets the quick assassination. Right on back to XD's corner. No reason to go anywhere else.
Yeah, Lightskins IQ says, oh, you want to talk about One Eye Willie? I can put up 22 kills as well. He's been popping off. He's gotten 2 assassinations. That means he's been just punching people in the back when they're not expecting it. So very sneaky play style paying off for Putnam City. And they're going to close this game out. Impressive bounce back. We got ourselves a series here.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Epic Comets. Fantastic stuff. That is a 100 to 98 on the first one.
Yeah.
And then the second round just obviously looking like a little bit more one-sided, we'll say. 2-1 goes the series. Still match point, of course. Still, Epic Comets ahead technically in the series right now. But as we go back to another objective game mode, right? Maps 2 and 5 always Slayer.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, this is pretty interesting, right? I think that this really shows the difference in philosophy. I'm glad that you used that word earlier because there really is a lot of philosophy in Halo. Your whole team has to kind of agree on the way to play different modes. And Epic Comets clearly had a great philosophy on how to hold and protect their strongholds in game 1, how to flow around the map together in game 2, but maybe didn't have the right idea when it came to oddball. Right now, Putnam City showing that they've got the oddball strategies in spades and did a fantastic job to bounce back here.
Yeah, they really did. Really did. Taking a look at any other standout numbers, again, Med Bobcat may not have dealt a whole lot of damage, provided value for the team in other ways. 6,300 or so Oak Assassin, 55 their side. One Eye Willie, though, 78 to 64. Damage really telling the story here, folks.
One Eye Willie with massive damage, but could not convert that into a win. It was really just those heads-up rotations, and honestly, there's only so much you can glean from the stat page. There's a lot of plays that can win you a game that don't even show up in the stat page. I would argue that,
True.
The plays that Met Bobcat were making, his stats don't look too great on the score sheet, but he was an absolute difference maker in that game. So there's more than meets the eye than just the stat page here.
Absolutely, and the assist right there again. It kind of boils down to the same conversation that you and I were having earlier. And that is quantity, quality, and there's not really like a stat that shows like, oh, there's a quality kill. This saved the game, right? Because honestly, I mean, in any slay that was taken at that engagement when when Putnam was up 98 to about like 80, I think, or so, any kill in that engagement that then led forth to Epic going forth and taking it 198, hands down the closest ball, game mode. Well, obviously, just numerically about as close as you can get in a ball game mode right there. 198. Are you not entertained, people? We got it kicked off here and early with FBI Tugboat, Eli the Ninja. Absolutely love it. We got 2 matches here on the day. Obviously, this one not over with as well. We'll be looking at match 2. We'll talk about that a little bit more once it gets there, of course. Just a reminder, this is a best of 5, and whoever does drop this match will not be out of the HSEL competition. They'll just be down to lower bracket, where, of course, if they lose the next match there, they will be out of the tournament. Number 2 seed Putnam City, number 3 seed Epic Charter going forth and doing battle as of right now. Eli pointed out as well, again, Ron Burgundy, right? I see it, I read it, I looked at the colors up top, I got the teams mixed up right there, but Epic Charter did come back and win this ball game mode, so they are down 1-2 in the series, going on to map number 4 and game mode number 3 in just a little bit. Yeah.
Or is Putnam City won the oddball game? Epic Charter won the first 2, right? I'm hoping I got it right.
No, you're right. Yep, I got that one wrong. I did it again. Hey, okay. Dude, Sam laughed at me like consistently the semesters past when I was doing this. But yes, you are correct, Eli. Epic Charters is up 2-1 in this series after a 250 to, I believe, 122 initial map, and then 50 to 39, and then it was a 2-0 for Putnam City.
Yes.
In game number 3.
Perfect.
Sorry about
That's okay. The colors were backwards at the top of the screen. Easy to get mixed up. There's a lot of stuff on the screen, so I'm sure a lot of the viewers were trying to keep track as well. But I'm excited to see what they strike and ban to play for this game 4. I mean, we haven't seen it capture the flag yet, which is historically, to my, like, as a classic Halo gamer, I feel like it's the most Halo of all the game modes. You know, capture the flag is just a classic. And I'd love to see the young guns take on CTF.
Absolutely. I mean, also, I mean, Halo's kind of like unique in that there's generally not like other like, you know, competitive esports, right, that are generally just like TDM, right, just like straight up Slayer, like, you know, get as many kills as you can, die as little as you can. But that remains here with Halo, and the same could be said there for Capture the Flag. Live Fire, King of the Hill. Let's get back to it. We're just looking at a recharge in the Live Fire series, it seems, Eli.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really blame them. These are probably the 2 best, like, most balanced maps that we play right now in the competitive rule set. I would have liked to see maybe some Aquarius CTF. I think that's always a good one, but we'll have to see. Should Putnam force the game 5 where they might take the Slayer. But this is a very fun one for me to cast. I mean, this is probably my favorite game type, period, is King of the Hill on Live Fire. There's just so much strategy and teamwork. The different hill points around the map, it moves around the map, right? So it starts where that B stronghold was in the first game, then it moves over to the tower side, then it moves all the way to the garage. So it's a constantly moving hill. And that means that if you're a good organized team, you should have a game plan for every individual hill. There's 5 total hills that it could go to. So this might favor Putnam City. You know, it seemed like they had better holds in Oddball. They might have better holds in King of the Hill as well.
So there are plenty of illusions to be drawn from the Oddball setups and now the King of the Hill setups. Is that correct?
Exactly. So what I've learned in my time coaching and studying HCS is some teams like to play fast and go for those kills, and they usually win by just having good firepower. But other teams favor a more strategic, slower play style. And the best teams in the world are good at doing both, and they can switch between the 2 play styles based on the game mode. But from what I've seen so far, Putnam City could have some good strategies for this one.
Just talking about flying forward, all gas, no brakes. We're on board with XD right now as the entire Epic Comic Charter School comes out absolutely flying forward. Crazy stuff. Oak Assassin, Moonwalker combined for 1 across the middle, and this is about halfway to possession. You mentioned before, our strongholds take about 5 seconds. This takes a little while longer, right, Eli?
Yeah, each hill takes 40 seconds of uncontested time in it. You don't get any extra time for 2 players standing in it. It's just, if one team is in it for 40 seconds, they cap the point. Now, if if one member of each team are in the hill, then it's contested. So neither team will get any progress on it. You can see the progress bar at the bottom of the screen filling up for Epic Comets, the red team. And once that bar hits all the way to the end, they will have capped 1 point and the hill will move to its next location.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's just a
There
couple
it is.
more, and there you go. Like you said, Epic Comets putting up the first point. And I appreciate that, again, because I mix up colors all the time. Taking a look at Slaying, yeah, this is the same exact story that we were talking about before. Yes, Putnam City, yes. One Eye Willie and Dolly can go forth, and literally 9 and 2 between the two of them, 10 and 2 between the two of them. That just doesn't matter when you're looking at the scoreboard at the bottom.
I am seeing just relentless aggression right now out of the Epic Comets. They said, you know what? We'll just keep you on the respawn screen. You're not going to be able to touch our hill player. And they're very much proving me wrong. I said that it would be Putnam City with the strong setups, but Epic Comets have so far, they look to run away with this.
A little bit of shots right there, and I have to agree with you. This is the first bit of progress for this squad right here after almost a 2 full King of the Hill run.
Right. It's close now. Keep in mind that progress does not matter. If the other team gets the point, all the progress that Epic Comets has got on this hill just goes to waste. It just completely starts fresh on the next hill. So right now, Epic Comets, they're trying to push into the setup. They're trying to bide their time. They're trying to make sure they can approach from different angles at the same time so that they can have a good chance to steal the setup. And they've done a great job of it. They sent players up the nest side, up the dummy side, and it's a perfect push. That looked like something I see in professional gameplay, but Met Bobcat looking like Mike Tyson out here, just punching them all out of the hill. What a clutch play from Met Bobcat.
There you go. Hey, that just goes to show sometimes you don't always have to have like the insane gunny the whole time. It's just about positioning in the element, Eli, of surprise. Here it comes again, another 2. I thought that was going to be it, and there was going to be another punch out there on point, but 2 players or a one shot get taken down, and then honestly kind of gives up the elimination to that last player.
And if you're trying to keep up with the zone, there's a gray icon on the screen. It's a diamond shape with a little king medal on it. That's what they're going for. When it lights up red, that means that Epic Comets currently has control of it. And when it lights up blue, that means Putnam City has control of it. So right now, Epic Comets in control of the hill. It is currently tied 1-1, but right now, Epic Comets have good control of the map, and they have a good chance to cap this point as well.
And this is a setup that's looking rather dangerous and hard to crack here, Eli. There's a couple of limbs here and early. And just pushing this in with 2 players is just folly, right? This would not be wise.
Right, you kind of want to take some space around the hill so that you can protect the space. Don't let opponents into the hill. You want to push them back so they don't have a chance to get in. But look at the push from Putnam City. They get a clean squad wipe with all 4 members still alive. And this is where I want to see them take some space and make it difficult for Epic Comets to push in. That way they could potentially steal this one at the final hour.
This is pressure and progress. Now down bottom, combining right here. Lightskin and teammate. Finding a lot of players. About 1 and is. Nicely done. Did I see a press R for reload? Or are we looking at an MNK player here, Light?
Yeah, there's actually a few MNK players in the lobby. I've noticed. You can tell by how fast they move their reticle around. But yeah, it looks like Moonwalker is going to finally get that point for Epic Comets. And keep in mind, this one is played to 4, so they're halfway to the victory. They've got to get 4 points to win. And if you're on the side of Putnam City, you really don't want to go down 3-1 and put the other team on match point.
Yeah. Yeah, that, like here within, of course, because of course Epic Chargers squad 2-1 in the series. They take this one, that'll be over. No sweeps to start out the HSEL Nationals broadcast for Halo. Now a little bit of flack in the back and just kind of take some cover where they can. Tried Rivers going down, nicely done. Blitz might have found a first. Second, Plasma not going to land right now and covering this one up for the time being.
Yeah, I really like what I'm seeing out of Met Bobcat. He hasn't been winning a lot of gunfights, but it feels like he's really strategy and objective oriented. He's trying to protect each zone as best he can. He was the one that clutched up to win that second hill as well with that double beatdown. So constantly in the right place at the right time. He's going to come off the respawn and see if he can make an impact. Going up the nest side right now. Fight breaks out, back tower, and Putnam City really need to get this point on the board to keep themselves not only alive in this game, but also alive in the series. I feel like going down 3-1 at this point would be a little bit too big of a deficit.
I really would. Taking a look at some of the numbers here. The numbers, Mason, what do they mean? 16-7. One Eye Willie popping off right now, of course. And again, this is the objective game mode, so it's not all about slays, but it's a fantastic job. XD, Lightscan, XD, everybody doing a fantastic job just wiping this quartet.
Yeah, look at the kills. I mean, I can do some quick math. Looks like about 13 kill disparity in favor of Epic Comets, but that doesn't matter in objective. It's tied at 2-all as Putnam City have gotten the kills that matter most, the ones that led to that hill capture. This one is one of the more precarious hills to be in, all the way in the top center of the map. You could have opponents coming in from multiple angles, so you want to have teammates that are watching you on the outside. Looks like Blitzel will get taken down from the hill, but I like the way they've played that situation. Does go 4 dead for Putnam City, and Epic Comets look to take a 3-2 lead, but they've still got about 30 seconds left to cap this.
Yes, they do. And this is really where the difference is going to come in. Frags just raining down around right now. And that's going to be enough for Lightscan now. Rolling on in, looking for some more. A fantastic job. Melees everywhere, looking for the third, and not going to happen.
Wow, Melee's very strong in this game. You'd think the guns would be stronger than the Melees, but it only takes 2 Melees to kill someone, where it takes 5 shots. So you're going to see some brawls occurring, and this one could go either way. This next fight going to be very important, and so far Putnam City get a couple dead on the side of Epic Comets. This camo going to be quite consequential as well. Met Bobcat might be able to sneak his way into this hill and make another melee play. Oh!
That was a teammate who actually, I think, shot them a couple of times, right? Revealed the positioning, so maybe a minor misplay that might go forth and lead to the difference on this King of the Hill point. That's going to be enough. Now, of course, again, this is the 4, folks. This is the 4, but that is frequently the difference maker, right?
Right. I mean, the good news for Putnam City is there's still 3 minutes on the clock. So if you go down, 3-2 with a lot less time on the clock, it looks a lot worse because teams could just elect to stay out of the hill and let that clock wind down. But they've actually got plenty of time for a comeback here. It is definitely unlikely, though, as Epic Comets only need to get 1 out of the next 2 hills.
It's a solid little bit of pressure, about a third of the way there as of right now. This is 100% required just to tie this one back on up. Shots and more ringing out against Dolly right here. 17-9, looking rather fine. The KD, 8 assists to boot. Sends a couple shots northwestward, I should say. Excuse me. And then a grenade lands at the feet. Shot ends this one, and this is an absolute run right now. Just giving it up. Okay, 3-3.
Yeah, tied up 3-3. It looks like we might have lost a player there.
Ooh.
I have to see what the competitive ruling is. So this game can be a little bit, technically problematic at times. Where,
Yep, gotcha. So that was Met right there that left. We're going to try and get this one on in. What seasons past, HSEL's past, we have looked at a situation where we've taken like the most recent score. I believe they this was, the third point was coming in for the tying factor right there. It was like technically a 2-3. We'll get confirmed and more about, where exactly we're going to go once we get our TOs. Once again, speaking of our TOs, speaking of our production staff, Eli didn't even do it now yet, right? Eli, you and I are just 2 guys screaming about esports in our rooms without our production staff, without our TOs, without everybody behind the scenes. That is Chris, that is Ben, that is Spencer, it's David over there giving the support, and everybody behind the scenes. If you're helping us, if you're giving us stats, if you're helping to run production and stuff like that, we appreciate you because we're generally literally nothing without you guys. So very, very much appreciative.
What he said, man. I mean, we're just here. I'm just here because I'm a nerd and I've been playing this game for 20 years, and they just want me to rant about it. So we do this while there's a lot of hardworking individuals behind us that make the show even possible in the first place. So thank you guys behind the scenes, and thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Now, what we've done in the past is we've used disconnects to kind of punish the people with our old school Halo stories, and that's just old men just talking about Halo. Is that a theme that you wish to recreate here for the 2024 HSEL Nationals?
I mean, I'm all for it, man. I could talk about old Halo probably until the end of time, and I plan to do that till the end of time.
Love that. Love that. I'll start. I actually kind of like alluded to this a little bit with the plasma pistol, right? The charge up plasma pistol. Rewind time back to 2005. Me and my older brother are spending the summer 2005, maybe 2006, but regardless, one of those 2 years. Halo 2 was 2004, so this probably was like 2005 or 2006. Anyway,
Yeah.
Spending the summer up in Sumter, South Carolina, the bustling metropolis that is Sumter, South Carolina. And there's not a whole lot to do, but we did hear about a Halo tournament, a little 2v2 action that was going on right there. So we get down to the semifinals, and we play against the team that's been absolutely just beating everybody, and not even like really close or whatever. We come forth, we take a game off of them. It goes Slayer turf, and they pull out these plasma pistols, right? They pull out these plasma pistols, and they start hitting us with these tracking shots, taking our shields down immediately, and just immediately one-tapping us. We don't know what to do. Lost to the team. Hate to see it. It was the first time I ever saw the noob combo, as it was dubbed afterwards, not by me, but by the entire Halo community, and it will always like have like a little craw in my heart. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, I still remember the first time I got killed by the noob combo as well, playing, because back then, I mean, Halo 2 and 3 were the most popular games on the planet at the time, so there's so many people playing online. There was a playlist that was just all 1v1s, so it was the head-to-head playlist that you could play, and, I thought I was pretty good, so I'm going to test myself in the 1v1 playlist, and very first game, I don't see my opponent at all. We're just like running around the map, like I guess we're just perfect timing, can't see each other, and then I just die instantly. I just hear the sound of the plasma pistol, and then a BR, and then it's just, I just die. I don't even see the guy. And I'm like, is this guy cheating? Is he invisible? Like, what's going on? But yeah, very overpowered tactic back in the day. That same gun is in this game, but they've tuned it. So now you can't just hold on to the charge forever. It does burn over time. So that's why you said one of the best changes in Halo Infinite. And well, I guess it changed in 3, but it's still much less powerful than it was back then. And I'm also grateful for that.
Absolutely. The lion's share of my Halo experience back in the day and playing and whatnot was that was with Halo 2. Halo 3, that's when I started getting farther into high school, into college and stuff like that, and tried to pay a little bit more attention to my studies. We are gonna go. Yes, we're getting confirmed here. The Golden Hill. I love that, David. I love it. The Golden Hill. Single point right here, folks. If it goes over to this epic squad, right? Then we're going to be looking at a 3-1 here in the first of these. If it goes the other way, we're looking at a little bit more of a longer series, right?
That's exactly right. We could go to a game 5 if Putnam are able to win this one, and it's first to one hill, so essentially sudden death. Whoever gets this first hill is going to win it. So that tells me this opening strategy going to be pretty important, right? Like both these teams did just start this game, so you have to think they maybe took notes on what their opposition did the first time, and maybe it's time to make a few adjustments. Say, last time they all went for sniper, maybe we should just go straight for the hill and then bait them in afterwards. So it's going to be a lot of interesting decisions made on that front.
Absolutely. Now, I feel like situations like this, right, just unavoidable based on the disconnect, right? Situations like this have now yielded something where this is like as close as you'd get to like SND and Call of Duty, right? Just like the single spawn, because I really feel like the initial push, right? Obviously it's 40 seconds, so it's a little bit longer, but the initial push, and whoever takes this initially, probably going to have a huge leg up in the rest of this for our Golden Hill situation.
Yeah,
graphic for that, the Golden Hill.
It's a Golden Hill. It's just a bright, glowing hill right here. We're looking at it on live fire. This is the location that it's going to be. This is the first hill with the two plasma grenades in it. And those plasma grenades are pretty important, by the way. So you can pick up grenades in your pocket and throw them, but you can also shoot them off of that stand there. So I've seen some hills won just by shooting those plasma nades on an unsuspecting person in the hill. We'll have to see if a play like that comes into play here.
Great job right there from the Putnam City. They just try to take like the aerial or the vertical advantage, right? The high ground, Anakin.
Yes.
Yields nothing, unfortunately. One Eye Willie, 2-1 as of right now. We're on board with Light Skins IQ. That's going to be okay, an odd repulsor play. Now that's something else you might see, folks. That repulsor like off the side, right?
Yeah. So the repulse can be used to repulse your opponent off the map. And if somebody walks into the back of this area, there is a spot where he could just push them off the map and send them to their doom, essentially. But it can also be used to repulse grenades back at opponents or repulse yourself into the air. So it has a very multi-purpose tool.
Nice, perfect right there from Dali. Well, we'll talk about repulsor plays and rocket launchers later, right? might see a little bit of that if we do play one of those maps at some point this weekend, of course. A little bit more than halfway there, folks.
Yeah, right now, Putnam City really putting a lot of points on the board here. This is going to be Epic Comet's kind of last opportunity to slow it down. That first kill is going to be a big deal, though. That means there's less members of Putnam City able to protect this. And it's going to be Moonwalker currently racking up some hill time of his own.
A nice done job. I mean, this gets them to about the halfway mark, maybe the 1/3 mark of their 40-second total right here. The push is not over. The fight has not been finished, and Bobcat learns that one the hard way. One Eye Willie's one shot finding two. Those are the kinds of math that I like, Eli.
Absolutely. Here we go. It's an all-out brawl in the hill. If Putnam City wins this fight, they could just go away with it. But no, it's Epic Comets. They still need about 20 seconds, though. So Putnam City will have one last push, one last opportunity to change their destiny. The sniper going to be so consequential. This guy's armor is distracting me. It looks like he's holding a sword on the side of his armor. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be able to use that one.
Great job, Epic. This is a little bit of a run. Last gasp, not gonna matter. Epic Comets has done it in 4.
Wow, that's going to seal the deal. 3-1 is the series. Epic Comets came out strong. Putnam City showing signs of life in that oddball game. But, man, Epic Comets just looked really comfortable on Livefire. It was both the Livefire Strongholds and the Livefire King of the Hill that got them to victory. Congratulations. They're going to move on. Putnam City going to have to find their way out of that lower bracket if they're going to have find themselves in the finals later on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, this is, of course, as close as you get seeding-wise, number 2 seed versus number 3 seed. But yes, dropping on the way down right here. And even so, it'd be like the most minor of upset, right? Regardless. 4 and 4. Okay, well, One Eye Willie 10 and 3. I guess we can talk about this a little bit, but like this was just the original. This is just the one hill. Obviously, we do not have stats from the previous King of the Hill before the disconnect, Eli.
Right, exactly. This is just what happened for the one hill, but I mean, 10 and 3 and just one hill, that's very impressive. One Eye Willie really willing his team to victory. I mean, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with later in the tournament, but overall, I just felt like the biggest difference maker was probably Willie's firepower, but also just the team's cohesion in general. It felt like they were a bit more organized, also maybe a bit more confident to take space, whereas Putnam City kind of played a lot of condensed setups where they're not really occupying much space around the map, and I think Epic Comets took advantage of that.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. The something that kind of caught my eye as well here, Eli, is the fact that, like, you know, if there is a player that's just not shooting as hot on the day, right? I feel like with other game modes, with your capture the flags, with your balls, it's easy to kind of like relegate that and just kind of like let them play a little bit and get their shots back, right? There's a different story here for King of the Hill, but regardless, maybe a little bit of a slow start for Putnam City, right? I mean, 250 to 122, this is a pretty handed victory for the Epic Comets Charter School. After that, we get relatively clean, or relatively close maps outside of the one oddball round, right? There was like 125, I think, if I remember right.
Right. I mean, it looks like a runaway victory at surface value, 3-1. But I mean, realistically, all these games were, well contested, I would say, by Putnam City. Recharge Slayer, if you'll recall, they were within 4 slays going into the end game, but Epic Comets ran away with it. So, really just a few different plays going the favor of Putnam City could have made a big difference. And that's the case for Halo Infinite. I mean, you've got to be disciplined at all times, and each error can kind of magnify upon itself. And at the end of the day, it was just Epic Comets making fewer errors throughout the games.
Yes, exactly. And when it comes to those errors and like forcing your opponents to make them and doing as few as you can yourself, I think that'll frequently go forth and have like a big effect. We're gonna go to a very short break while we get our next match set up. Before we do, of course, I want to talk about another one of the absolutely like core interactive fundamentals here as far as gaming concepts for the HSEL, and that is, of course, the interactive media. Folks, you can elevate student creativity with your gaming concepts, and that is, of course, the interactive media. From digital graphics to web design, this is a dynamic course served within the HSEL that allows students to unleash their creativity across various forms of interactive media. This is using industry standard tools and techniques as well. So really, they're going to be going forth and getting these real world hands-on experience, Eli. And you can go forth and empower your students to express themselves creatively by going within that digital landscape by going on over to gamingconcepts.gg for more information. I'm sure we'll have a command in chat as well, folks. For now, FBI Tugboat, Eli the Ninja will be back with you for their second match of the day here in just a little bit.
Training platform to bring professional esports into the classroom, and I'm going to show you how in 30 seconds. First up, let's choose the training camp that's right for me. Our platform is inclusive of all experience levels, so there's a range of choices. Here you can see a structured training roadmap. Let's start our first session. Now I can scaffold my esports teams using learning, quizzes, and training. See, wasn't even 30 seconds. You focus on play, we'll do the rest. Sign up for free today at valoresports.com and take your program to the next level. Tired of looking for tutorials on YouTube that are designed to keep you watching instead of actually learning and practicing? Well, look no more. Here at Valor.
Hey guys, best news of your entire day. I'm a moron. This series is tied. We're going to a game number 5. How about that? Okay, you have colors up top. I get them mixed up. I'm very, very sorry about that. I could have sworn those epic comments in 3-1 fashion. It is not. Putnam City came back 2-2 right there. We're looking at a Game 5 situation. As Slayer, our first match on the broadcast here of the weekend, Eli, and we're going to a game number 5.
That's as exciting as it can get, and it's on one of the most exciting maps that we can play as well because it's on streets. It's actually the smallest map, probably one of the most beautifully designed maps as well. It's just like a cool ambiance. It got the neon signs everywhere, but very small map, which means it's going to be very fast-paced.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's also plenty of power weapons involved within streets as well. Let's hop on into it and get this Game 5 started, Eli.
Exactly right. There's going to be a stalker rifle over in that red room side. There's also a shotgun. So the stalker rifle kind of operates as a blend between a sniper and a DMR. We see it on your screen right there. Very powerful weapon, but also very difficult to use. So we'll have to see if these players go for it. I mean, some players are just not comfortable to pick it up because it is so difficult to use. On the other side, though, you've got the shotgun, which I think everybody knows how to use. Very effective close quarters, but only has 7 rounds in the clip. I see a couple of beautiful arcade machines here. You can't stop and play Galaga in the middle of the battlefield, though. It's probably not a good recipe for success.
No, it is not. There's different kind of gaming that'll give you success here within the HSEL Halo National 2024. Love it. We got some our Rainbow Six going on as well, folks. If you can go forth and watch 2 of them. Get 2 streams up. We're not asking that much. Slayer Streets, it's where this is going down. Win or lose, Epic Charters will drop down, or Putnam City will have to fight their way through that loser's bracket.
This is going to be a hotly contested one, but if I'm being honest, it looks like Epic Comets have just a more aggressive play style. They seem to be playing more forward on the map in most of these engagements. So if they can maintain that pace, that will bode well for them in a game type like Slayer on Streets, because this game type usually is won by the faster paced and more aggressive team.
Yes, especially this rush off the beginning right there, the semi kind of DMR, not full on sniper rifle, and of course rocks down there in the middle. Shotgun over on the kind of the outside right here, one of the outside edges. Will also, as Eli said, be paid attention to a whole lot. But there's a reason why you can believe that red and Old Town right here is where a lot of this slaying is going to go down. This is a whole lot here initially. For One Eye Willie and the rest of the Epic Comic squad, who are in the red, down bottom, up 2-0. Is that correct, Eli?
Yes. Yeah, looks like we've got the colors on the right sides of the screen now, so it should be a little bit less confusing for both us and everybody at home. So
very
thank you,
sorry,
production.
Guys, again. I know that was on me. Very sorry. Our production is absolutely good. Sorry, please go ahead. I'm going to cut you off.
No, you're fine. I was confused as well. So here we are, Game 5. And like I said, I thought Epic Comets would play a bit more aggressive, and they have done so. They're now up 6-0, completely shutting out Putnam City so far. And what is really favorable about being aggressive on this map is because it's so small, you can very quickly make it to the players that are coming off spawn. So if you got 4 dead, you've got better weapons than them, you can just run at them and kill them again. So I look to see this lead maybe snowball, could potentially get out of control unless Putnam City can make a good defensive stance here.
No death so far on the side. I spoke too soon. If that's not a caster curse, I don't know what is. It's going down the New Mombasa Police Department as of right now over there as a little bit of a comeback. This is a 1-for-3 trade in this most recent fight to improve from 6-0 to 3-7.
Right, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty big comeback here, I would say, early on. Just getting on the board in general, but also just getting within that 4-kill spread, like you said, is such an important one, because that's exactly how many members are on the team. Usually, after one domino falls, the rest fall as well. So to be within one team wipe is not so bad on the losing side.
Absolutely. That increment of 4 is really what we're going to be looking at, and especially earlier on. Doesn't matter too much. Those rocks, those will be coming up here, and soon. An attempted 1v1 here from Met Bobcat. That's not going to end in something he likes.
No, it's actually the camo now. They did recently change the rule set, so we got camo spawning bottom middle. Yeah. I think that's a good change. Rockets were a little bit crazy on such a small map, in my opinion. So we're going to see if one of these teams can make some more sneaky plays around each other. Some nice, perfect shots out of Lightskin IQ. This guy definitely on mouse and keyboard. You can tell just by how fast he's whipping that reticle around and getting some impressive kills along the way.
Have I found myself an MNK homer over here, Eli? You a big MNK fan?
I'm a fan of it. I play controller as I have for 20 years, but
good.
There's some new exciting mouse and keyboard players on the scene. I mean, we've got if you look at the pro level, there's a player that came all the way from Finland, and he's only 17 years old, so he could play in the high school esports league, and he got top 6 with the best players in the world playing against and the only player playing on mouse and keyboard when everyone else is on controller. So impressive feats around the world happening. It's an exciting time in competitive Halo.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll definitely hear a little bit more about those players if we have any more downtime. Taking
Absolutely.
a look. 15-13. This is a game that came right on back. Stalker rifle now in hand. Gotta agree with the Rockets takeout, right?
Yeah.
Just in general, I feel like it may not have a super heavy competitive kind of feel, kind of vibe, right? We do have the repulsor in now. Maybe I'm the one with the skill diff. I don't know. One Eye Willie doubling up yet again.
He's doing a great job. I mean, right now he's got 5 kills, but more importantly, 6 assists. So he's been a part of 11 different kills, finishing 5 of his own, helping his teammates get another 6. Only died 3 times as well, so certainly looking like the MVP here. Oak Assassin, though, not to be outdone, 7 kills and 7 assists, so he's contributed to more kills, but he's also died twice as much. So, I mean, both players certainly having good games. It's only a 5-kill difference, though. Putnam City really not playing as defensively as I expected, and I like to see this. They're not afraid. They are pushing into the Epic Comets, and they're keeping this one close.
Yes, they really are. That aforementioned active camo now up yet again. A well-placed nade. That gets the damage here that XD needs, but decides better of it after losing one. Nicely done.
Wow.
One Eye Willie. You push me, I'll push right back.
Yeah, XD with some very impressive shots. He was one shot, so you hear that beep, 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 beep. That means that his shield is down, and the other player just needed to shoot him one time to finish him off, but he's able to clutch up and get the kill himself instead, and that's exactly what you need in a Slayer. I mean, it's all about staying alive and getting those kills for yourself. That could be a huge difference maker going into the end game.
I feel like coming in and just simply staying alive is almost more important than getting the initial elimination yourself, right? If you get damaged and your teammates finish it up, hey, you just came out on top as long as you both stayed alive. Now, pushing an uphill battle right here. Nicely done, combining with the teammate. XD is going to be the one credited with the last shot.
Both these teams really working well together. I've been very impressed with the team shot. Looks like they're now pushing out on this driveway side. They're doing so together, not leaving each other alone. The entire team is here. One of them does split off through the middle, so Lightskin IQ going for a bit of a flank play. No, opts to come back and be a part of the squad. But they're also just kind of looking for information. They're trying to figure out where opponents are. They're deciding to take the fight to them. And I like this playstyle. I expected Epic Comets to be more aggressive, but instead they're the ones being defensive, and Putnam City are taking advantage.
Yes, they are, and this is a lead that has slowly dripped away from what 6-0 start to now a one-score difference here. A couple of kills away from Putnam City actually taking the lead. Taking a look on this purple side. Blitz gets mailed a bunch, and that's just kind of taking a little while to even get to even get like assessed of a danger right there. Maybe the call out, maybe not paying enough attention to the teammate. I'm not sure, but nicely done. Almost gifted with another one. The Epic Comets, they felt a little bit of danger here and took the lead right on back.
Yeah, all of a sudden they've ballooned the lead back to 3, make it 4. And once you get to that 30 kill mark, that's where most people say that's where the Slayer starts. You know, the beginning here, this is all kind of feeling each other out, but with just 20 kills to go, it's really going to come down to who makes the plays here in the end game.
Absolutely. 7-score difference. We're on board with Moonwalker as of right now. He's just kind of trying to watch this entire side of the map, give the information to the team. Information is power. That is what Moonwalker is singing right now. 1, 2, 3 members all up top. Bobcat takes a couple of shots, but this is kind of like a bottled up Putnam City squad as of right now. They're just hanging out in train station.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, I like this play from Moonwalker. He's pushing in through this right side, probably calling for his teammates' help. Just needs the rest of his squad to push in through the driveway, and they would clean out the rest of Putnam City. Look at him playing his life here. But his teammates have not pushed in. I kind of wish the rest of Epic Comets just swung in through that driveway. That would have been a perfect pinch opportunity. They still do maintain the lead, but that could have been a lot cleaner.
Could have been a lot cleaner. And you kind of saw him, he's like hiding behind this pillar, and he's kind of like turning,
like, guys?
like as
Guys?
well, like over, like, hey, please, I'm on the team too here. Like, I know we're playing it slower as of right now, but hey, a 1-score difference turns into like a 4-score difference. Last time we mentioned it, now to 11.
Enemy team nearing.
It's really just starting to balloon out of control. Now with just 10 kills to go, Putnam City need to get 20, and Epic Comets only need 8 at this point. And check out the stat line out of Oak Assassin. 14 kills, 13 assists. One Eye Willie, 12 and 12 for both columns. And that's just massive damage output as we've seen from them this entire series.
Really have. Oak Assassin got a teammate to the right, sends a couple of shots. Now just like, again, just the alleviating of pressure from one to the next. Up for it. Can't quite catch on, can't quite mantle right here. Was jumping up and probably looking to get another repulsor like away, try and push this player towards the teammate regardless. Man, this game just got real unmanageable real quick. 13-score difference, Eli.
Yeah, now there's 3 kills to go. This one looks like it's all but over. Epic Comets just going to put the finishing touches on the board here. Technically not over, but this is the type of comeback that's almost impossible. I mean, they've got to get 15 kills before Epic gets 3. And you have to imagine along the way of 15 that some of those kills are going to get traded out. But I like this Wolfpack mentality out of Putnam City. They said, if you're going to take us on, you've got to take us all on. And that's a great way to play this situation.
Especially given that Epic Comments are featuring a 2-split look right here. 2 players now in the middle, kind of like flanking as of right now. Moonwalker falls. We're on board with Oak Assassin. That's 2 of the kills that they need. Oh, but that happens on the other side. So Putnam City kind of comes in with a 2-player split look as well, and they win one of the 2v2s, they lose the other 2v2s in a situation they cannot afford to do. Shots out, a little bit of utilization here.
We walked over the shotgun. He wants to pick that up. We didn't recognize that he walked over it. Probably a little bit more focus on this player here. Don't blame him. They're keeping this one interesting. It's now 41-49. Still just one needed for Epic. But Putnam City not willing to back down just yet.
120 seconds, 1 kill in a dream. That's going to be enough. A fantastic, perfect One Eye Willie has been just showing us those while he is on POV almost more times than not. A fantastic job. It all comes down to the game 5, and what an exciting way to start out our HSEL Nationals. Relatively, I mean, an even closer Slayer than the previous one, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was an impressive showing from Putnam City. Like I said, I like the way they played a lot of it. They just went down a little bit too much in that mid to late game to really come back. But going into the end game, I mean, they made those last 2 kills as hard as possible for the Epic Comets. But yeah, it's been the story of One Eye Willie. This guy has been slaying out, the highest damage dealer in a majority of the games as well. 17 kills, 11 deaths, and 12 assists. So huge KDA, which is a calculation of kills and assists over deaths of 10.0, which is an impressive number.
Yeah, absolutely. Highest on the other side is Blitzel here with 5.0, doubling up right there is One Eye Willie. Everybody positive. No, excuse me, I can't say everybody positive. Moonwalker 8 and 9 right here. But again, 8 assists to boot just from Moonwalker there. That's the second lowest on the squad and even higher than everybody over there on Putnam City. As it is, this is a fantastic matchup that all went down, and it was basically decided at the Slayers, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not winning Slayers, you got to win at least one Slayer to win a series. That's just how math works. And here we saw Epic Comets just coming ahead with 2 of them. And Putnam City won 2 objective games in Oddball and King of the Hill. Like we said, they're more setup-oriented team. But if you're fast and aggressive, those Slayers going to pay the difference.
Yes, they are. Absolutely. Absolutely. Gonna be looking at a short little break before we get our next matchup here, guys. I want to talk to you a little bit about how you can involve middle schools here in some of their digital life skills. Now, folks, are you looking for a way here to engage with your middle school students in your classroom using esports? Well, we got an answer for you. What you can do is you can transform student learning with gaming concepts within the middle school, and this is the digital life skills section. From organization to responsible decision making, students will develop vital competencies. They'll be competencies, excuse me, my goodness, often that are overlooked in traditional coursework. Again, with the hardcore focus here on esports and whatnot, you can prepare your middle school students for a successful high school journey by checking out gaming concepts in the middle school fashion over there, the digital life skills at gamingconcepts.gg today. Short break, guys. We'll be back with you in just a little bit. Oh man.
We prioritize only relevant information so you can apply it in-game instantly. Sign up free today at valoresports.com. You can use Valor's training platform to bring professional esports into the classroom, and I'm going to show you how in 30 seconds. First up, let's choose the training camp that's right for me. Our platform is inclusive of all experience levels, so there's a range of choices. Here you can see a structured training roadmap. Let's start our first session. Now I can scaffold my esports teams using learning, quizzes, and training. See, wasn't even 30 seconds. You focus on play, we'll do the rest. Sign up for free today at valoresports.com and take your program to the next level. Tired of looking for tutorials on YouTube that are designed to keep you watching instead of actually learning and practicing? Well, look no more. Here at Valor, we prioritize only relevant information so you can apply it in-game instantly. Sign up free today at valoresports.com. You can use Valor's training platform to bring professional esports into the classroom, and I'm going to show you how in 30 seconds. First up, let's choose the training camp that's right for me. Our platform is inclusive of all experience levels, so there's a range of choices. Here you can see a structured training roadmap. Let's start our first session. Now I can scaffold my esports teams using learning, quizzes, and training. See, wasn't even 30 seconds. You focus on play, we'll do the rest. Sign up for free today at valoresports.com and take your program to the next level. can use Valor's training platform to bring professional esports into the classroom, and I'm going to show you how in 30 seconds. First up, let's choose the training camp that's right for me. Our platform is inclusive of all experience levels, so there's a range of choices. Here you can see a structured training roadmap. Let's start our first session. Now I can scaffold my esports teams using learning, quizzes, and training. See, wasn't even 30 seconds. You focus on play, we'll do the rest. Sign up for free today at valoresports.com and take your program to the next level. Tired of looking for tutorials on YouTube that are designed to keep you watching instead of actually learning and practicing? Well, look no more. Here at Valor, we prioritize only relevant information so you can apply it in-game instantly. Sign up free today at valoresports.com. You can use Valor's training platform to bring professional esports into the classroom, and I'm going to show you how in 30 seconds. First up, let's choose the training camp that's right for me. Our platform is inclusive of all experience levels, so there's a range of choices. Here you can see a structured training roadmap. Let's start our first session. Now I can scaffold my esports teams using learning, quizzes, and training. See, wasn't even 30 seconds. You focus on play, we'll do the rest. Sign up for free today at valoresports.com and take your program to the next level.
Hello and welcome back to the HSEL Nationals 24 featuring Halo, FBI Tugboat, Eli the Ninja, and Eli is going to break down a little bit what we just saw and kind of like why we saw what we saw and why this team was able to go forth and win, albeit in 3-2 fashion. But first, before we do, I want to talk to you guys about a way you can go forth and enrich the lives of your middle school students. Are you looking for a way to engage your middle school students in the classroom using esports? Well, you can do so. Transform your student learning with Gaming Concepts Middle School. There's a digital life skills, okay? From organization to responsible decision-making, your students will develop vital ways that are often overlooked in some of the traditional coursework of other necessary courses and whatnot. So you can prepare your students for a successful high school journey and check out Gaming Concepts Middle School, the Digital Life Skills section on gamingconcepts.gg today. Now, Eli talked about it a little bit more. I want you to break down a little bit why we just saw what we saw.
Yeah, I mean, when it came to the two schools that we saw going against each other, we saw Epic Charter versus Putnam City. Epic Charter, in my opinion, just had a bit more firepower. I mean, they're hitting more shots. We've got One Eye Willie, we've got Oak Assassin, but we've also just generally see them play more fast-paced and aggressive. And I mean, if you study game theory, that's usually a recipe for success in most games that you played, period. So, I mean, they were rewarded for kind of being proactive and making the plays for themselves instead of letting the game come to them, which, you know, we did see Putnam City have good showing in both Oddball and King of the Hill, which are more, you know, standoffish type game types where you set up and play together around a specific area. But in the end, it was Epic Charter that won in the more aggressive game types, which was 3 out of the 5, and they win 3-2.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Fantastic breakdown of, again, why we just saw what we saw here. Again, folks, double elimination. Team that lost previous. That's going to be Putnam City. They're not going to be eliminated from this competition. They'll simply be down in the lower side of that bracket. Coming up next here, though, we got our second match of the day. Plenty more Halo action tomorrow. Plenty more Halo action on Sunday as well. Let's take a look at the two teams we're going to be seeing here on the day. And our second match of the day, of course. This is, of course, our Heritage Hill Chargers on the left side in the red, and the Alta High School. Alta coming in here. They are the Hawks. Yes, that's right. So the Chargers versus the Hawks here, Eli.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. Now, this is the number 6 seed versus the number 7 seed. So these two teams near the bottom of the rankings. I mean, granted, they've made it this far across all of the nation's teams that competed. So, I mean, being 6 and 7 technically in the country right now, not a bad place to be. But within the subset that we're looking at, definitely on the lower side. But these teams, I'm going to be very interested to see how they play. Both these teams, I think, lost to QI Roberts. And that's how they were. Oh, sorry. No, Alta High was eliminated by Bosco Tech in spring 24 quarterfinals. Heritage Hall losing to QI Roberts. So Heritage Hall maybe facing a tougher opponent, but Bosco Tech able to 3-0 them. It looks like Alta High, though, with the better seed. So I'm going to be very curious to see how these teams play and also what game types they choose based on their play styles.
Yeah, it's a fantastic point. We are starting off, got this one, got this confirmed. We are a live fire strongholds. Hey, we enjoyed it so much the first time, Eli. Why would we do anything else?
Like I said, I mean, this is just one of the better game types we play. So in a competitive environment, I mean, this is, it makes sense that the teams agree to play this game type. So it's actually Strongholds on Live Fire, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, despite it saying recharge on the screen, recharge the other map we saw in the last series, but
the other Eli favorite, right?
Right. Yes. I mean, I do enjoy both the maps. I mean, these are the two best maps that we play. They're both asymmetrical. There's a lot of intrigue and kind of teamwork that can be played around the map. But once again, it's this game type probably going to favor the faster paced team or the team that just knows how to hold two specific strongholds really well. Some teams like to hold A, B. Some teams like to hold B, C. Both can be successful. Just a matter of how much you've practiced the setup.
Yeah, and the practice here, especially now that we're in the Nationals, is one of those things, Eli, that's going to be very evident, right? Obviously now, schools getting, if it's not already out for our high schools, it's getting closer to it. The summer is soon here, students. Don't you worry, but the competition is not done quite yet. At least a couple more Halo matches to go here. If, again, you want to claim undying honor and glory within the HSEL Nationals. Of course, they have some cool trophies and other stuff like that. We'll talk a little bit more about that on Championship Sunday. How about that?
Sounds good to me. And if I'm not mistaken, this one is actually in the lower bracket, which means one of these teams is going to be eliminated from the tournament altogether at the end of this. So maybe a little bit more on the line for this one than we saw the last one. I mean, the last one, you're like, okay, if we lose, at least we still got the lower bracket, but there is no more lower bracket to go to here. So both teams fighting for their life.
Yeah, so results here, and these are unconfirmed, okay, folks? We have our bracket up here. This is unconfirmed. At the end of the day, all of this stuff will be confirmed, so take this grain of salt. We are looking at Putnam City. That was against the Heritage Hall. Yeah, okay, no, this is totally wrong, isn't it? Because we saw okay, sorry, the bracket's wrong. Sorry, they even said that like right here. So, because we saw Putnam City play against Epic Charter. Anyway, Heritage Hall, not Heritage Hill. What was I talking about? Heritage Hall Chargers taking it on. against the Alta High School squad. This is B and C hold. This is the Eli special.
That's right, but it's quickly being converted. But now that we've got the names on the screen from the start, we can go ahead and talk about it. What's your favorite tag in this lobby here?
Taking a look. I'd have to say maybe Awesome Cheese. Just a little bit of a look. Elevator Nader. Like I really like this one. Obviously, you're kind of like mixing that with Rylanator as well. A couple eaters over here for the Heritage Shield Chargers. What about you, Eli?
Yeah, it's got to be Awesome Cheese or Lining Muscle 469, which looks like the most Xbox generated tag that I've ever seen in my life. But Awesome Cheese, I feel like I need to have a post-game interview with him and ask him what is his favorite. Is he more of a provolone guy? Is he more like Munster? A little, maybe some smoked Gouda? I mean, well, I'm curious now.
Yeah, so teams are swapped. We'll get that fixed in just a second. We are looking at Heritage Hall with Cool Carson, Lining Muscle 469, Black 4028, Awesome Cheese 55, Waffle, and OG Tribal Leader.
Enemy team.
As it is, 43-4, 43-5. This is not an inspiring start.
Yeah, I mean, right now, looks like Heritage Hall, who I believe are the red team, yes, they are currently in scoring position. It looks like members of both teams really just moving around all parts of the map. I'm not sure if either team is really thinking about holding just two. I think they're just kind of reacting to the situation and saying, you know what, they currently have C, let's go for C, or they currently have B, let's go for B. It kind of feels like it's kind of a more flow-oriented playstyle that we're seeing so far.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A little bit of a run on the backside. That is almost a take, and now it is Alta High School. Tyflo, Ethan, Rylanator, and Elevator Nader will be taking a couple of ticks on their own until C gets interrupted here. They said, hey, you can have B. We don't want it. It's too hard to crack.
Elevator Nader with perfect shots. By the way, if you see that perfect metal on the screen, that means that they did not miss a single shot. Takes 5 shots to kill in this game. Got to end that last shot with a headshot. First 4 shots could be anywhere on the body, but the last one has to be a headshot to be awarded with a perfect kill medal. Not an easy feat. Even the best in the world, you know, they don't get perfect kills every time. It's, I would say, less than half the time. Granted, if your teammate shoots them just one time, then you've no longer been awarded even the opportunity to get the perfect medal. But at this level, very impressive to see some perfect kills being thrown about.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, watch this, guys. I'm going to make a coach's head explode. Now, you have to hit all 5 of those shots in the head to get a perfect, right?
No, you don't. It's just the last one. You got to hit. So the way the shield system works in Halo, for any newcomers, you know, maybe watching Halo for the first time, you've got a shield. At the top of the screen is that blue bar, and the first 4 shots, each shot is about a quarter of the shield. So if you get shot 4 times, you'll have no shields left. It doesn't matter where you shoot somebody in the body, as long as they have shields, they will do the same amount of damage if you shoot them in the pinky toe or if you shoot them in the forehead. But once the shield has been broken, that's when the headshot matters. After the shields are broken, it takes 3 shots to the body, but only 1 shot to the head to finish them off.
Yeah, so this is different, of course, from Halo 2, because Halo 2, you had to hit all 12 shots in the head. I'm completely naming it. Again, I'm trying to make Eli's head explode.
There are people that still believe that, by the way.
Yes, there is. I will admit I was one of them until about 4 years ago when it was pointed out. Like, shortly before this game came out and I was playing with others. I always went for the head. But hey, what can I say? I'm just a perfectionist, okay, guys?
Well, there are
making
other
it way
guns.
harder for myself for like 20 years.
Yeah, you're definitely nerfing yourself because it's pretty difficult to aim for such a small target throughout the entire kill. But this gun in the hands of Tyflo King, cool gamer tag, by the way. Wonder if he's a Zelda fan. I think Tyflo, the name of some of the Zelda ruins, if I'm not mistaken. I've played some of the new Zelda games, but if you've got the sniper, a headshot is an instant kill, but it would take 2 shots to the body for a kill. So this is a gun where the headshots really do matter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ooh, spike grenade out. It landed the body shot with that. I believe the spike would have been enough to finish this one off. Spike grenades, one of my favorite, albeit they are kind of like they have that random like spike disbursement, right?
Yeah, well, they've recently been nerfed. Maybe when the game came out, they had the shrapnel effect. They could just bounce all over the place. Now it's a more defined cone. So similar to Halo 3, you have to actually have the grenade perpendicular on the wall for it to do adequate damage. So honestly, better served as a sticky grenade at this point, I think, more than anything. If you stick the grenade directly on your opponent, it's a one-shot kill.
Yes, sir. Similar to your classic plasma grenade stick. Taking a look right now. Lining muscle 469. Don't worry, guys. I'll try and make Eli's brain explode a little bit more later with all the kinds of like the brain dead Halo ticks I've heard over the years that some people claim is like gospel truth, right?
There's a lot. I've heard it all at this point.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll try to come up with something new. How about that? Can cover an A right now. Lining muscle 469 shots than melee. So the difference here, of course, being that he did not get the shields down with those shots, right? Shields down, then a melee. You're talking about an instant kill, right?
Right. Yeah, it's 2 melees, or if they have no shields, 1 melee for sure. To kill somebody in this game. Melee's very powerful, like I said, but it's also dangerous, right? Because if you can melee them, that means they can also melee you. So sometimes it's a way to take a little bit extra damage. I usually advise people, you know, if you've got more shields right now, you should probably avoid the melee situation. Take advantage of that shield advantage.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Especially given that they can melee you and not get the K. Fantastic shots.
Wow.
Ethan, Charlie, hey, Commando, single shot Bandito. I'll use either of them. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, he just jumped in that player's face, punched him first to take out the shields, and then gets the headshot. It's another way to get the kill. So many different ways, but he gets... You see him perform a little gymnastics there with the backflip.
Yeah.
That's because he took a headshot to the face from a sniper rifle. So I think that might be OG Tribal Leader with the sniper, and he's popping off.
Yeah, it was like a clotheslining kind of effect right there, gotta
Yes.
say. Heritage Hall, the Chargers now have their positive run stopped. B will be going back over, so a 112-point run will stop right there. 152-53 now as we get a little bit of pressure, but not much more against B as of right now.
Right now, I'm noticing a massive kill disparity for Alta High School. So Alta has significantly more hills, but they're really not winning by that much more in the objective department. I mean, they're up by 50, which looks like a lot, but Heritage Hall, if they can just hold this for about a minute, they'll be caught right up. Awesome Cheese with the headshot and the kill feed. Big kills coming in here. If he can turn 2, that's massive. Somehow stays alive. And just like that, 4 dead for Alta High School, and this looks like a trip cap brewing for Heritage Hall.
Yes, it is. B gets there for just a second, so this is going to be 4 every second, correct? 4 points every second?
2 points every second.
2 points every second, excuse me, math is hard. C goes back on over the way towards Alta, so the bleeding stopped for now, not a full-on hemorrhage, to use the, I guess to use the specific terminology. 162, 150, that's where it'll stop. Alta, a little bit of pressure onto B, now coming up. This will be A pressure in just a second. Oh boy, that looked fantastic. Ended out not the way he wanted it. There's 2, looking for 3, finds it! Typhlo King puts the first triple kill on the broadcast. Again, I believe we saw the 4, right? The quad kill earlier, but that was before at least we got like full-on perspectives.
Right, yeah, and I think that player got the overkill off screen. Observer didn't catch that one, so just another part of production. By the way, there's somebody that is controlling exactly what screen we go to. Observing, not an easy job. You know, it's a paid job as well in production. So shout out to the Observer here for capturing that triple kill. It's not easy to keep track and make sure you catch the good stuff.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I keep talking about the chaotic mess that can be Halo. Big shout out to our production staff knowing exactly where to be at exactly the right times. That's a sniper rifle in hand, and this is going to be Typhlo King picking up the... No, the teammate took it! The teammate took it! I can't believe it! There has been a robbery on broadcast, folks! How much more could Typhlo King have earned that one? Said not good enough. I'll relinquish that. I'll take that off your hands.
I feel like we've all had that experience in matchmaking. You get like a nice triple kill. You're on your way to loot the dead body of your opponent, but too late. Your teammate already picked it up, and he's probably going to die with it shortly after. So, but
3 shots into the wall. No heads will be hit. He's going to give over sniper after that.
It's pretty much a guarantee in matchmaking at this point. But Rylanator with a nice kill. What I'm noticing out of Alta is they're all very evenly matched as far as the damage department goes. Rylanator least kills but has the most assists. Elevatornator and Typhlo both matching each other 18 and 19. Ethan, Charlie, 680 also right there with him. So very evenly matched across the board, and that's what you like to see from a team here.
Yeah, awesome cheese right there. I mean, you kind of saw the reticle. That was very, very close. That's a body shot, setting it up for Typhlo King. And this is continued theme of Alta High School, just playing very, very well, firing on all cylinders. 4 of these pistons, they are all firing within unison. Trying for it. That's a trade, right?
It was a trade, but a very impressive kill that's going to slow down Heritage, doesn't let them to get out, which guarantees the Game 1 victory for Alta High School. These guys came to play.
Yes, they did. It was 250 to 153, if I read this correctly. So, not exactly like 100 point clubbed, but pretty darn good here.
Absolutely. Here we go. So here's a look at the series so far. Obviously, just the one game. We still got, at minimum, 2 more to play, potentially 4 more to play if Heritage Hall can start fighting back a little bit. But right now, I mean, Alta High School look to have a lot of firepower on their squad. It's just going to be a tough task for Heritage going into a Game 2 Slayer.
Yeah, would it be a fair assessment to say just within Game 1, not overall, not making statements about these players, but like overall, skill-wise, definitely not, but it seems like Alta High School was just more of a well-rounded squad within this first game, a squad that was working together and finding results the way they were able to like reap them, right? Like they planted the seeds and harvested their crop.
Right. No, I would say that. I would say that even though the firepower seems stronger on Alta, that Heritage still did a good job of, keeping it close. 100 points is really not that much in strongholds because, sometimes you can get 100 points at a time. So, I mean, they did a great job to kind of mitigate the damage. Awesome Cheese kind of carrying the damage department there. But Lightning Muscle, despite having low damage, he did have a lot of captures. So he was definitely a part of the mix and doing a good job to keep his team in the mix.
Again, just roles, responsibilities. Lightning Muscle may be down like numerically towards the bottom, but again, it's the effect that they had consistently getting onto points. A, B, or C right here, they really provided value for the squad. As it is, we're going to be looking at the Alta Esports Hawks up 1-0 in this series. As the HSEL format entails, we'll be looking at a Slayer for map number 2. We're always guaranteed a Slayer within a best-of-5 series, given that it's always going to be on 2, but we'll get down to Slayer numero 5. That's number 5 here, if we get down there. It's really, really far away. Don't get excited for it yet, Eli. I see you over there. Don't get excited for it yet.
I'll try not to, but I want to see a different map. I'm hoping these guys maybe take us to, Aquarius, although I think Aquarius, one of the lesser liked Slayer maps, I think, in general across the community. It's a very good flag map, but not as good for Slayer. But one we haven't seen that's in the competitive rotation is Solitude. So we'll see if these guys maybe go to Plaza. I don't know if these guys are old enough to have played Halo 5 much, but it is a remake from Halo 5. Yeah. And perhaps they have some experience there.
Yeah, so this was, a very, very popular map in Halo's past. I think there's a recurring theme, kind of like, something like Livefire. You'd be like really hard to like really draw like a past, like a past correlation. Livefire, a relatively new map to Halo Infinite, correct?
Yeah, it's new to Halo, period. But yeah, it's been out since Halo Infinite came out, and you're right. It's very hard to compare it to any older map.
Yeah, there's nothing that is like drawing its theme from previous, but there's obviously plenty of other ones, especially I think when you get to some of the symmetrical maps. I believe we got it though. The Slayer Streets, is that what I heard inside the cans here? Yeah,
that's what you heard. It's going to be back to the fast-paced action. It wasn't quite as fast-paced as I expected it to be in the last one, so we'll have to see what happens here. These teams, I think, it's kind of it's a big stage, right? So sometimes if you're playing from home and you're comfortable, like maybe you're going to play a bit more aggressive. And then once the bright lights are on you and it's a little bit more serious, you play a bit more cautiously. So we'll have to see if some of those nerves start to play a factor here.
Yeah, it's a fantastic point. It's a fantastic point. So DMRs, not full-on sniper rifles here. You got your Bulldog, that shotgun. It will bark, folks, but no more rockets inside the middle. You instead have your power-up here. How do you feel about pretty much every map having a power-up that is just so important and so impactful for the performance of each team on the map?
It definitely adds some intrigue to it as far as like you got to know how to play for it. You've got to be disciplined before it spawns. You've got to know how to set up around it so that you can earn it more often. You've also got to know how to counter it in case the other team gets it. You know, if it's camo, for example, you know, maybe sit in a stance where you're watching all the different entry points to stop the other team from getting through, because it is slightly visible. You know, you're not completely invisible. There's kind of like a distortion effect around the player. It's hard to see, don't get me wrong, but if you're standing still, it's a lot more obvious when that distortion occurs. So how do you counter it? But it also can cause kind of like a snowball effect, like the team that's already in the lead and already getting kills, you know, they're more likely to get it after they've already kind of had an advantage. So there is that aspect of it, but it just goes back to, you know, you've got to be more disciplined, and it makes every single fight a bit more important to win.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and it will never matter more than here on the streets. Like, you win these fights, and you want to be able to get back out because streets is just so small. As Eli mentioned, geographically the smallest competitive map within Halo Infinite, by a solid little margin, right? I mean, Recharge isn't huge map by any means, but this is definitely the smallest.
Right, yeah, it's the smallest. It's also got a lot of power weapons on it as well, which means that, you know, sometimes you get a bit more value out of the power weapon since your opponents are spawning closer to you. They did actually have a lot more power weapons on this in the past, but the pro community said, you know, it's a bit too much. Now it's a bit more tame. You know, no rocket launcher, no sentinel beam on this map anymore. I think that's a good change, but even still, the Stalker and Bulldog going to make a big effect here.
Yeah. No sentinel beam. It was fun being irritating with it while it lasted, folks, but yeah. Game 2, Slayer, you're on the streets. We're going to need to see Heritage Hall bring this one back for a tied series. Otherwise, we'll see Alta High School on match point early. Taking a look, moving through tires as of right now is Ethan. Looking onto the top stairs. He saw one there, saw two there, I think. Tried to pick up the shotgun as well. Throws a frag. Oh, man, not going to be enough to get the kill until he'd already passed on. 1, 2, 3 in his face. Glack right now has faced some seriously oppressive numbers, but with 4 members closing on around him, that result can be nothing if not described as predictable.
Yeah, I mean, he had the right idea to try to just get out of dodge, but just too many opponents around him. Ethan, Charlie with a great flank through that cafe side. Just going to make sure he has no escape options, and that's kind of the name of the game on a map this small. If you can just cover all the different angles or all the different entryways around the outskirts of the map and the center of the map, where else can your opponent go? You kind of pin them into a corner, make it very difficult for them to get out, and it's exactly what we've seen so far out of Alta High School.
But tell me if I'm wrong here, but Ethan, Charlie, we're looking at another MNK player, or at least some crazy high sense on the controller.
Sensitivity definitely doesn't go that high on a controller. It's definitely mouse and keyboard. This game actually has the lowest sensitivity ever in any Halo, as far as even when you crank it all the way to maximum. I think the maximum mouse and keyboard sensitivity is at least 10 times faster than the maximum controller sensitivity, so it can be a pretty glaring difference.
Absolutely. You can kind of tell it from the gameplay right there. 14-8, just shy of a doubling up here for Alta High. Taking a look at the numbers ever so briefly. 2 times on the KD right now is Elevator Nader going forth. Nobody give this guy a red lightsaber. 3-2 or 3-1, excuse me, for Ethan Charlie. Good find. 4 assists for Typhlo King, as well as a 3-1 scoreline on the KD. Kills death. Not too shabby. Glack, unfortunately, was absolutely slaying in the previous map. Has not found a single kill quite yet. And that's another one. It's going down in Cafe right now.
Yeah, and good news for Heritage Hall is the sword has been taken out of competitive play, so Elevator Nader will not be able to use the force on his victims here. He's going to have to just stick with the guns, tried and true. But honestly impressed with how close Heritage Hall have kept this after, you know, such a wide slay disparity that we saw in Game 1. I thought this could be a blowout, but Heritage Hall not going to go out easy.
So quietly into that good night. 4-score difference still, but completely manageable as Glack finds the second of his 2 kills thus far. Slaying woes ended for this Glack player. Once again, over there, kind of closer to this yellow and purple side, right?
Yeah, I mean, the purple side, I mean, the key is you want to occupy all 3 lanes. I mean, there's 3 lanes on this map. There's the center, there's the purple, and the B side. If you occupy all 3 as you push towards the opposition, you know, you kind of split their resources, split their attention. It's the name of the game, right? Like, you got to treat your opponents like they're sheep and you're the shepherd. Just don't give them anywhere to go. Just push them into a smaller and smaller box, and that's really how you win on a map like Streets.
Fantastic bait and switch here for the Elevator Nader. Goes back into tires, allows the teammate to pick this one up. I believe that was Ethan Charlie that ended up getting this one on top. Speaking of, Vader Nader, 13-6 as of right now, folks.
Those are
It's
big
a
numbers.
fantastic quote, though. Is that an Eli coaching quote right there? You got your opponents are sheep and you are the shepherd.
Yeah, that's an Eli coaching original.
Love it. Love it.
Been saying that one for a while now, but it's so true. I mean, think about like how many escape. Like right now, Heritage Hall are pinned in their. They're pinned in their pin right now, and right now Alta can just stop every possible way that they want to get out. They have to look front, left, and center, and Alta High have really shepherded them into this small corner here, and that's why they've been able to build such a lead. But now they've got to be careful. They could become the sheep here shortly as Heritage Hall comes off spawn, and they're now approaching all of the exit points as well.
Yeah, no, exactly. And this might be a couple of them going down relatively easy as it bursts in 2-on-1 right now, just trying to get out with the life is Ethan Charlie. That's not going to be easy at all. But Heritage Hall is now taking their own position. Got to get out of this one. Tyflow King from the top right here. A little bit of damage. Doesn't find a K for it, though. And this just got back within that crucial 4-score increment.
Right here, I don't like the positioning from Heritage Hall. They're kind of keeping themselves here to where they could be surrounded. You kind of want to take some lateral space so that you cannot be made into the sheep. You've got to at least take one side or the other. I'd like to see an extension out the P side, maybe send 2 players out that way, but because they've sat here for so long, Elevator Nader is going to push in, find a double kill, and now Cool Carson and Tribal Leader kind of left here. Might be able to play defense against Ethan Charlie, but now Cool Carson deciding to go back into the tram side, and it's going to take another defensive stance.
Yeah, I mean, he is covering this middle lane right now and providing a little bit of value for the teammates and whatnot. Rylanator on a full flank right now. Only 1 player dedicated from Alta High over here. And now he's on ball spawn. That's going to be enough. Yeah, maybe a mildly bad decision to abandon the teammate, give up a kill, and then force them to fight at a deficit. Only 3 players really on the main front over there coming down from red side.
Yeah, the team shot so important, and this is a close one. All of a sudden, it's only a 2-kill game. The other side effect of not moving enough around the map is you're missing all of the items that are spawning. We've got that stalker, we've got the shotgun, camo. You know, that went to Alta High because Heritage was pulled up on that seaside of the map. And Alta High have done a good job to put it to work. It's now a 1-kill game, though. Heritage Hall keeping it very, very close here.
Okay, so 32-31 as of right now as a player leaves. We're going to be, once again, just starting this right back. And I mean, hey, if there's ever going to be a disconnect, how about it happen in a game where there is a 1-kill difference? Does not make our math too hard. Coming back, this will be 18, this will be 18 kills required for Alta High School and 19 kills required for Heritage Hall.
I'm not sure why they have not ended the game just yet. Maybe the admin yet to be informed of the situation, but yeah, here we go. We'll have to see. Right now, are they electing to just play it out, the 3v4 situation?
100% sure. It doesn't seem like a situation that Alta High School would decide, hey, this would make sense. But hey, we talked about Undying Honor and Glory. Maybe this is a next step to that, like a real in-your-face, like, hey, we can still get it done with only 3. I really hope this is not a situation they decide to play out and then they say, oh, hey, we should start it from there because, that we had a VC. They're opting to continue to play this game. We're going to get confirmed from our TOs and stuff like that, guys. It is worth noting that Alta High School's lead has only increased, though.
That is very interesting. Also, shout out to 343, the makers of this game, recognizing that disconnects are, they happen. Mm-hmm. So they actually put a feature in the game where you can set the score to the score that it was before the disconnect. Yes, so hopefully the admin team knows that and can utilize that feature.
Yeah, and this is like, obviously no game is created perfect, right? Disconnects just happen no matter what online game that you're playing, but what a great job 343 kind of like being malleable, right? Flowing like water here, Eli, and realizing the situation and coming out with a fix, albeit not a full-on, okay, you just have perfect lobbies all the time, because that is unattainable. 40 to 37 right now.
Exactly right. This is 41 to 37. Heritage Hall trying to push out of the tram side. Looks like they have decided to just play on and see what happens afterwards.
Yes, sir. We'll commentate
Awesome
thusly,
cheese
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Right, yeah, I mean, we've got 1 kill a game. Will Carson pushing up. He's got 10 assists, by the way, +3 and 10 assists. We called him out for playing a bit passive before, but, I mean, it's clearly working out. That's a big differential to give your team.
9 and 6 with 10 assists on the board. More assists than you have kills or deaths. Love that. Absolutely love that. Alta holding on to this area, holding on to the top tower a little bit, and just being willing to send them shots down the other way. We are getting confirmed from TOs that we're gonna have them stop and replay it from that aforementioned, I believe.
Should have been 31 to 32.
Well, we got Vadernator back. Well, okay.
Okay, so Vadernator just rejoins. No loss. And he's got 22 kills. He's 22 and 14, so we'd be confident that they can close this one out.
Yep, exactly. I mean, they basically, player came back at the same deficit. He only missed all of, I guess 14 total kills, about 9 for one and 5 for the other, or something like that. 3-score deficit, nonetheless. 100 seconds left in this Slayer Streets mode. Frags into tires right here, as this is an Alta squad on board with Rylanator, who's just looking to move all the way in. And I just realized that 07 on the end of his name, Eli, that might be his birthday.
I know, right? And I graduated in 08, so that just makes me feel awful. This guy's born before I graduated, but only by 1 year.
1 score difference here. Heritage Hall has kept it close. They did in the previous strongholds, but I saw a little bit. Ooh, was that? I thought that was a stick with the spike grenade. Not gonna be enough. Alta High School has done it. 50 to 45 in the Slayer game mode.
Very impressive stuff. I mean, these guys really had control. They had the lead essentially the whole game. Heritage did keep it close, but I mean, same story from game 1. They had the lead and really never let go.
Yeah, they really didn't. Only 5-score difference, pretty much as close as we can get to it. And we're looking through TO's production side, and they're discussing as far as this. We're going to go ahead with the assumption that Alta High School has taken this game number 2, and they are up 2-0. Talk to me a little bit about the slaying themes that we saw throughout here, and why Alta High School was able to go forth and ultimately take this game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to really rally together, work together a little bit better. You know, hopefully pick a game type that they're most comfortable in, because so far the 2 game types, while they were pretty close in general, you know, once you're down 2-0, you've got to guarantee this game 3 victory. If you're at Heritage Hall, you got to pick a game mode that they can feel like they have the best chance of winning here.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And as far as that game mode, just based on what you see, where would you lean? Are we going to some CTF coming up here, the game that we have not seen here yet?
I would hope so. I mean, it feels like, if there's one player on the team that's maybe less comfortable, they're having trouble keeping up in the Slays department, give them an objective to play around. They can at least, go for those flag runs. Just make sure they're timing it right. You don't want to just run in front of, 4 guns in front of you. But if your teammates are getting those kills and you see an opening to grab the flag, sometimes that can give one of these players that feels like they're falling behind a bit more of a purpose. And I think that could be a good call for these squads.
Yeah, and the malleability, I keep talking about it on the day, right? The malleability, the willingness to go forth and change your game plan as you get pressure, right? You know what they say, what the old, I think it's a Mike Tyson quote, right? No plan survives getting punched in the mouth. That was about as what we could describe this Street Slayer map right here, 50 to 45. And yes, we are getting confirmed right here, two different ways. First, that this is a map win for Alta. They did it 3-4, still counts it all the way through through, even though a player did leave for 2 minutes or something like that. Second, this is lowers as well, so the losing team here, Eli, will be eliminated from our HSEL Nationals 2024 with an early exit.
So very important. I mean, this is backs against the wall for Alta. They're going to have to really put it together here. Or sorry, for Heritage Hall.
Yep.
They're going to have to really put it together here and make sure that this is a victory. They've got to win 3 straight to survive in the tournament. But if you're the side of Alta, you just want to close it out right here, right now.
And the fact is that is 2 objectives in a Slayer game mode. Like the Slayer game mode is pretty close. The objective game mode maybe not so much. That's what they're looking at right now. You got to take 2 objectives before we even get back to the Slayer, which again is where Heritage Hall looked great at. Typhlo King, seriously, Halo keeps us on our toes. Shout out HSEL David. Shout out once again, guys. I know I have been calling these players on the wrong team, teams on the wrong color all day long. I very, very much appreciate you guys keeping up with me, and and willing to work all the way through this one. Possible last game. We just got a game 5, right, between Epic Charters and Putnam City. Would it be thematical? Just based on parity, Eli, if this goes 3-0?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like maybe there is a little bit larger gap between these 2 teams, but it would not surprise me if they're able to come back. This game is very much winnable on either side. If you're the losing team and you figure out why you're losing and you make some corrections on the fly, like you said, you got to be malleable, change up that game plan. So important in a game like this, and anything's possible. I mean, I've seen comebacks of players in strongholds beat up 240 to 30, and the team that had 30 comes back and wins. So it's all about momentum, and if one team can get momentum, they can ride that to a victory.
Now here's the most important question based on that previous statement. Eli, was the team that came back from 30 a team coached by you?
Perhaps it was, yes.
Or were you the coach of the team that was up 240?
No. I was actually on the team that made the comeback.
Oh, nice.
Playing.
Gotcha. I assumed just from your context that you were coaching. But fantastic stuff. Coaching, playing, everything in between. Ooh, nasty stick onto Awesome Cheese. Did that send our sniper rifle off the edge and flying? I'm not 100%
very well
sure.
could have. Yeah, it's hard to tell from the angle. Also, the angle that it sends from a grenade explosion, hard to predict. So. Could be anywhere. There is an AI scan, by the way, in this game where you press up on the D-pad, you can scan and see where that sniper rifle is if it's still on the map. So maybe one of these players will be able to find it.
Gotcha. If it is present, it's on our tower right here. Melee, but the active camo player is going to come out on top. Taking a look, Awesome Cheese got a couple of teammates with him. Here comes the bait and switch. Well, no need for that. Okay, That's a melee onto a teammate to say, hey, give me that sniper rifle. It is the language of violence is a rather clear one, is it not, Eli?
It is, and Jesus. I love the faith they put in Awesome Cheese, who's already got 5 kills, by the way, and his teammates are like, listen, man, you're disgusting at this game. Here, take this sniper and go to work. Ultimately, not enough, though. Alta High School do a good job to shut down the star player, but oh no, the portal. That's one of the new equipment items where you can teleport, but maybe he forgot exactly how close his portal was to the edge before he used it.
I did end up not really getting to what we could call an advantage or an advantageous location on that one. Back stairs, nice, perfect. You got to reload on the other side. Not against me, my friend. That's a triple at the end, even if it's a trade. I'll trade 3 for 1 all day long, Eli. I am terrible at math, but I'm pretty sure that's ideal situations.
Yes, if you can trade 3 kills for 1, that is a huge deal for your team as you maintain that advantage, and more importantly, probably have the safety to cap a lot of hill time as Alta has. They're now pretty close to closing this second hill out. Plasma pistols being put to work by Ethan. Charlie does enough damage for his teammate to clean that one out, but he does get taken down. And Heritage Hall, now they have control. Awesome Cheese trying to quickly get to the hill, make sure he can help his team play defense. But how does this push look from Alta Hall?
Almost. That was quite a plasma pistol snipe. Almost landed there too. Alta Hall. You got me saying it. Alta High Heritage Hall. I keep calling it Heritage Hill as well. I just can't read today, people. I'm sorry.
Reading's hard.
Yeah, reading is hard. Yeah, fortunately, we have our high school students here that are enriched by all kinds of HSEL curriculums.
I like curricula. I'm pretty sure that is not a word, but it sounds good.
We're going to go with curriculi. We're inventing. See, we're just cutting edge here at HSEL. We're literally inventing new words that your students can go forth and play. Ethan Charlie looking fine. There's a second one. Killing spree now with that sniper rifle in hand.
Very impressive stuff. I mean, this gun, in my opinion, the best gun in the game. You can get more kills with it in a hurry, but you've got to be good with it. You've got to be accurate and to get the most value out of it. Ethan gets some value, but ultimately does get taken down. Heritage now have it for themselves. I think that's awesome. Cheese hits another headshot, and now you can see why his teammates were dropping that weapon for him.
Nice, well-placed frag from the teammate right here. Just kind of drop at the feet. We've been talking a little bit. Awesome Cheese, 9-7 right now. Positivo. Another Positivo. That's Cool Carson, 6-5. But when we're talking about slang, you gotta talk about Alta High School. And you can't have that conversation without Ethan Charlie being in the sentence. 13-7 as of right now with a quartet of assists to boot. 8-8
Wow.
for Vader Nader with 10 assists. Jesus.
The Typhlo swinging elbows. Seems like melee is going left and right. A little teabag action as well at the end there. A little bit of CPR being given.
There you go.
And it looks like Awesome Cheese, though. He's going to try to keep his team in this one. And I really do feel like it's going to be on Awesome Cheese to step it up for his team to stay alive here.
Yes, sir. So what exactly did Awesome Cheese do there a second? It said remote detonation. What exactly is this? I think you referred to it earlier.
Yeah, so the grenades can be exploded. If you actually just shoot a grenade that's on the ground, it'll explode from where it's at. So Awesome Cheese, it's actually a pretty brilliant play as we see Ethan Charlie get the triple kill, but you've got to have the heads-up awareness. You got to see, okay, my opponent might turn this corner. Oh, wait, there's a grenade on the ground. And then Awesome Cheese just waits for the player to cross over the grenade and shoots it on the floor. And it's a very intelligent way to get a kill in this game.
I feel like we're almost doing like all right, Ethan Charlie, do what we're saying. Shoot the grenade right there so you can see what we're talking about. You did it awesome a second ago. He shoots the plasma this time way ahead of the player, and obviously no splash damage going from that point. Now a little bit of a run here, possibly. Awesome Cheese kind of getting a couple of kills to open this one up, peppering it, and softening up the target a little bit with those fragmentation grenades. Ethan Charlie finding one. His other members come flying into this one. That is not necessarily a skin I've seen on one of these bandits yet.
That's a HCS skin, so this means this player is all about competition. He's using one of the competitive skins for his bandit.
Love that. Love that. Couple of shots raining in, but Heritage Hall realizes it is a little bit too little and a little bit too late. Looks like a bouncer there from the plasma that almost stuck onto the feet. Not going to be enough as a frag lands at the feet right here of our BR tower. 11-11 for Vader Nader with 12 assists. More than the rest of his team combined. Nope, almost more than the rest of his team combined.
That's impressive. 12 assists. Ethan with 20 kills is absolutely towering over the lobby right now. Awesome Cheese, second most in the lobby on the other side with 15. But this hill right here can be absolutely crazy at times. You're going to see lots of grenades go off. You're going to see lots of players just diving into it, trying to make a difference. Ethan just getting some snipe shots down range. He's on a killing spree now. That means 5 kills in a row without a death. And I love this repositioning here. This is some veteran type level of awareness. You've got to go to the top of the tower. He's got high ground advantage. And on top of that, he's forcing his opponents to spawn on worse parts of the map.
Yeah, so that's over towards that B side from the... There you go. There's the first, looking for the second. Even a body shot here wouldn't be too bad. Oh, takes a little bit of damage. D-zooms and cannot find it onto the second. Oh. No! Fancy
moved a
footwork
little bit too fast.
A dip. Sorry about that. What'd you say?
He said he moved a little bit too fast on that one, which happens to all of us if you play this game. Very easy to find your footing in the wrong spot and find yourself off the map.
This one looks like it's going over to Heritage Hall, bringing it back from the brink. As I say that, maybe a little bit too soon. This has not been taken over. Okay, so we're at like 95%. If it's 40 seconds, I'm saying maybe 38.5 or something like that.
Yeah, it's 1 second basically,
okay.
I think, for Heritage at this point. So all it's going to take is for them to get in the hill without any members of the other team contesting it. But no, they go 4 dead, and that's going to be the end of the game. stolen away at the last second. Heritage only needed 1 second, but Alta High School defensive effort too strong.
Brutal. So Heritage Hall has an honest last shot at this, right, Eli? Like they have a full 4 up here. They're trying to like kind of manipulate their way in here. And I gotta say, this is 4-1. You know, obviously the 50-45 on the Slayer right here. I really feel like this one was the closest game of all 3 of these, right?
It has to be, yeah. I mean, Awesome Cheese putting up a nice performance here. Felt like he was really trying to will his team to victory. Team rallying around him as well. You saw them grabbing the sniper rifle and dropping it at his feet. He would say, "We trust you to win this game for us." And he made some great plays, but ultimately was not enough. So GG's to Alta High School. They look to be moving on.
Yes, sir. And a lot of this from Alta High School coming off the back of Ethan Charlie coming in 25 and 10 with 7 assists to boot. Eli, big brain Halo coach, player, long time within. Do you feel like Ethan Charlie and Alta High School have this same scoreline if you take, say, 10 kills off the top of Ethan Charlie's?
Probably not. I mean, Ethan was getting the kills that made the difference in a lot of these hills. Keep in mind, Heritage Hall were very close to capping at least 2 of these hills. So, you know, if Ethan is not getting clutch kills as those cap points go in, then we could see a very different scoreline. It could have been Alta High trying to come back in the end game. So these kills absolutely making a difference in this game.
Yeah, 100%, especially that very last. You talked about it during, Eli. Gotta retap this one. The frame of mind to take the sniper, I think with 6 or even 7 full shots, right? Only 8 of them in an actual full sniper, and then rotating all the way to the top of this tower here and providing the overwatch, knowing that this squad was spawning up on the other side, on this garage side, closer to the stronghold location, right? Over on the A hold position over there, where the garage is, knowing that they're going to be coming out. Yes, they might be looking up at him as well and stuff like this, but it wasn't until later on the damage is already done, and he took 25% of the initial starting force that Heritage Hall needed to come in, grab that one. If they get 1 more second on this, we're still watching this. I'm completely convinced, because that was a 3-2 game right there, and it's still a lease on life for Heritage Hall.
You're exactly right. I mean, for Ethan to have the presence of mind to go top tower, I mean, that position is so important that the pro teams, when they play that game type, they don't even care about getting the hill until they have the tower. That's how important it is. They say, you know what, we'll get the hill later, but we want to have the better positioning to give ourselves a better chance to cap it later on. And that's the type of forward thinking that I saw out of Ethan Charlie.
Yeah, absolutely love that. And this is the kind of plays and the kind of positioning, the kind of mental awareness here, folks, that not only that HSEL has fostered across many years of its esports league and the support that it provides via its various programs in schools, but also here on the day in this competition. These are the kinds of plays that are going to go forth and purchase you wins. A 3-0 right here, even if some of the maps might have been a little bit closer, Eli. But hey, again, we got a Game 5 barn burner for the first of these. With that, I do believe that's it for the broadcast for the day, of course. Players are done playing for the day. We'll be playing a lot more Saturday, and then Sunday, of course, for Championship Sunday. Eli, I've had an absolute blast. Obviously, we've met each other out in the tech port. I had to apologize the first time I met you because we came in, I was just exhausted. I mean, like, dead tired people. Came in the hotel, Eli's like, oh, hey, what's up, man? Like, we've talked online, like, dozens of times. I was like, it was like ran off to my hotel room. Had to give him the apology afterwards because I was just like, dead man walking, tired right there. And I always bring it up whenever Eli comes in. But yeah, sorry, Eli, do you have anything else for the good people before we cut the broadcast for today? Again, more Halo on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, well, I would just say this was an absolute blast. I'm so excited to just see that this exists. Like I said, I mean, I've been playing Halo since it came out, and back when I played it, it wasn't really accepted as well as it is today. And it's so cool to see just how far esports has come and to be a part of that history in some way, even if it's just on the cast and watching these young men come up and try to play this game. So it's very cool. It's been a blast casting with you as well. And hopefully I get more opportunities in the future. For the rest of the weekend, you're going to be stuck with my normal casting duo, Old Man Mikowski. So good luck with him. He's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. Hey, the old man stories for you guys, giving it on to the next generation of esports players will not stop with Eli. Yes, we'll continue that
That's
on
right.
tomorrow. Old Man Mikowski Wachowski coming on in. Want to give you guys an idea of what HSEL can provide as well here towards the end. We're talking about shoutcasting, right? Well, what a perfect time. Folks, go forth. You can ignite your student potentials with gaming concepts via the beautiful, beautiful art of shoutcasting, commentary, as shoutcasting is just known, obviously, within esports. These are aligned with the National Broadcasting Arts, AV, audio-video technologies, and communication at the CTE standards. These lesson covers exactly just what shoutcasting entails, really.